From Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Welcome in. This is episode 189, I believe, for our live stream. And Sarah will be joining us a little bit later. She has a sick kiddo at home, and I think she's going to join us from home in a little bit, maybe on camera, maybe just in the chat. But either way, she's with us in there. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget, we're recording this as a podcast version as well. So you can find that on Spotify, your favorite streaming platforms, and on the FordVideoGuyMedia.com website as well as all the different resources and different articles and things on that website. So feel free to do that. Or if you're listening to the podcast and want to come join us live every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on YouTube as well. So just to cover all the bases there. Hope you guys are having a great day. I need to actually pull up the chat because just to make sure I got everybody in here. But welcome in, everybody. A lot of our guests. Now, if you did see the title of this, we are going to talk about Bronco Super Celebration. We got a panelist that's coming on here in about 30 minutes and is going to join me here, and we're gonna some people that we know are gonna be at Bronco Supercell Tennessee, and which is probably the biggest Bronco celebration of just Broncos of probably any event you're gonna see this year. So I've been to all the Supercells, and the one in Tennessee is by far the most attended. I think they have already at least over 1,000 Broncos that are registered, pre-registered, which is pretty cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, what you can expect at a Bronco event, what it's like, and what everybody's excited about is going on. So we'll talk about that. So we're gonna actually, because of that, we're gonna shift the schedule around just a little bit from what you normally are used to. Last week I didn't cover recalls. I did move them completely off the agenda. There's a lot of recalls, not only from last week, but more for this week. So we're going to put that at the very end for those that don't want to listen to the recalls. We'll put that at the very end after our live Q&A. There's a lot in there, so I don't want to bore everybody that doesn't want to hear that, because it probably is going to be like 15 or 20 minutes just to go through the recalls. There's a lot there. But I do want to make sure I cover recalls for those that want that as well. But we'll get into, like I said, around 7:30 or so, we'll get the panelists in here. But between now and then, we'll kind of just pop in and kind of talk about a few things. I got a few things to mail to open up. We have a couple dealer news updates here as well, and a little fun thing I want to kind of share with everybody that kind of launched today. It was in the news today. I didn't get information on it, but I did gather information later that we can share with you about a couple Broncos that are kind of fun, that aren't production Broncos, not concepts really, but just some fun things that they're having at the Jeep Safari. We'll talk about that. Easter Jeep Safari, word that right, but we'll get into that here in just a little bit. So looking forward to an exciting episode. So anyway, so with that in mind, don't forget to make sure you're subscribed, bell notification turned on, all that good stuff to keep doing content. Now here you're going to see on our channel, if you're new to this and just saw that in there and jumped in, we do a video series on 3 different models, actually 4 different models every week. So Maverick Monday, on Mondays for your Ford Maverick people out there. If you're a Bronco Sport person, we have a Built Wild Wednesday video series for you guys. And then on Super Duties, we have a Super Duty Saturday. And here and there, I think throughout the year, we're going to also do a Ford Friday every so often. That's not going to be a regular weekly thing. But if I have some fun information or some things that I feel like needs to be shared on the other models of the Ford lineup, we're going to share those there. Like some of our special custom builds that aren't Super Duties, Bronco Sports, Broncos, or Mavericks, we're going to share on those videos as well throughout the year. So we'll start including that from from time to time there. So you want to make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss any of those videos. So I think they're fun videos and I enjoy them a lot. So, all right. Other than that, we did a scheduling video earlier today as well. So if you got a chance to see that, 6:30 p.m. it went live, about 20 minutes long. That went over scheduling information for this week. This is the first week for using allocations for June production date. So we did do that as well. So Sarah, anytime you want to join in, you can just click and just come on in. So I'll leave that up to you, and kiddos in the background and and everything else because she's sitting in our living room. Otherwise, she's going to manage the chat for me and highlight all the different things because we probably need to do member shout outs. But if you are, and speaking of members, let's talk a little about that. You can become a member of the channel if you would like to. No requirement to that. You won't miss, there's a couple special videos that we do and some other special things for our members. It's just kind of fun little things to do, but you don't miss any of the forward information. If there's anything big, you're going to get it without having to be a member. It's not a big thing. But if you do want to become a member, you can do that by hitting that join button beside the subscribe button, whether it be on our main YouTube channel or on most of the videos. If you'll see that down there, then you can just click that join. You get a little more information about what's going on and what's included and everything, and then you can join. Now, if you are an iPhone user or an iPad user, it's a little different. You have to go to a web browser, and you have to pull up the desktop version to be able to see that join button. Otherwise, you may not see that. That's just kind of an iPhone little thing that they do. And I'll keep popping that up. And if somebody with an iPhone says it's done differently, let me know and I'll update that. But all of our membership content you can find under the membership tab. You also should get notifications if you have it turned on every time a member video goes live. And sometimes our videos, I'll have them go live to members first. And so like Monday night, our members got to see the Maverick video about an hour before everybody else. Because I had it done and I had it ready. So I went and scheduled it out and gave it to the members first. So that's sometimes they get it the same time everybody else does. Sometimes they get it early. But then every Thursday we do a lot walk. So is what I call it. So we just walk our new and used lot back in the little back where, people like to try to find where those hidden gems are. We go walk the lot, see what just came in, see what sold vehicles are here, what else is going on, something new that just came on the lot. They get a chance to see that, and we just chat about it. And, I kind of rant a little bit, come up with some things that I want to talk about as I call a Tim Talk. So, and then on Fridays, we do a member live stream. So we get together for about an hour every Friday at 4 p.m. and just chat. Usually the whole thing is controlled by our members because usually they pop questions in there and we just branch off from that and just talk about all kinds of fun stuff. So anyway, we do like our membership because it's kind of fun, and we do shout outs in here as well. So speaking of that, before we do shout outs, because I always forget this, I do have a beverage, and every week they like to do this. Now, the wife brought Dairy Queen for us. I don't know if you guys got Dairy Queens where you're at, but they brought Dairy Queen. So you have to try to figure out what fountain drink that I have in there as part of what's in Tim's cup. So there you go. Let's try to figure that out if you want to. I have actually 2 beverages sitting here. So when I get done with one, I'll probably move to the other. But there you go. So you can guess that. And while we're doing that, let's do member shout outs. All right. We'll see if Sarah has these in here. We do have a couple people also members get to do is they get to do a little a shout out for how long they've been a member. So we have Ford Enthusiast here. Hard to believe it's been 2 years. So it says, evening, everyone. I can't believe it's been 2 years since I joined this awesome group of people who share my love of Ford products. Yes, that's pretty awesome. And Bronco Sport coming. Oh, there's Sarah.
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you. So can you hear me? All right. So do you want to go through and do the member shout outs?
I sure can.
All right. We just did that one. You can see that there.
And he's headed down next week.
He's picking up his Bronco Sport next week. So if you guys had a chance to see the Bronco Sport we did a test drive on as well as a walk around the last couple of weeks on Built Wild Wednesday, it is Ford Enthusiast Bronco Sport. In fact, he's got a picture of it right there.
Yes, he does.
Remind me. We'll email me. We'll send you the photos from the picture building if you want those as well. So we'll have to put those on a zip drive though.
Yes.
We take our photos in like 4K quality, so it's pretty big deal. All right.
Yeah. We have Ridgeview folks. See you all soon. We have S. Waltz. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's featured presentation. Mike M., thank you for the donation. Hello, all. Hope everyone's doing good. Just finished golf. That was a great Masters, though I don't have a Bronco yet. Looking for Can you hear that?
Is that Will or Theo?
Who do you think?
I think it's Will.
It's not. It's Theo.
Theo, come say hi. Come say hi. 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 How's my Theo doing?
Are you good? Is that
You're on
Papa?
YouTube now. You're famous.
Papa. Oh, here comes Will. Come over.
Hope you get to feeling better, Will.
He says, hope you get to feeling better.
Oh, you have headphones in?
Yeah, I have a headphone in.
Okay, we got to get back to the live stream now.
We gotta get back to things, okay?
It's not grandkid talk.
Okay, hey.
All right.
I'm thirsty.
Okay, 1 second. All right.
All right, so we'll go through these while she gets a drink for them. So, all right, yes, Mike, we're gonna see you next week. That'll be a lot of fun. So, we plan to do in Parsons Branch, which takes us to Cades Cove. So you can join us for that if you're. We'll figure out what day we can do that, but we'll text you and figure that out. So, and Rob Hallmark said, "Good evening. We'll be in Tennessee this time next week for Supercell, which is awesome. Wish we could be there a little earlier, but we can't leave until Tuesday night." It takes us about a day and a half to get there. Google says it's 14 hours, but I can tell you with stops and Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's alone, it's going to be like 17 hours for us or so. So we'll get about four hours in and get the other, hopefully 10 to 12 hours on Wednesday. So we won't get there till Wednesday night, but have fun while you're there. So we'll see you there. Bucky said, "Hey everybody, you're an inspiration for enthusiasts. This is a great place to demonstrate your enthusiasm." So check these here. All right. And then we got Mapsim, 23 months, says hello, everyone. So that's pretty awesome. Thanks for being a member for that long. That's pretty cool. So, all right. We also have Alan here, says, "Well, Friday we are off on our road trip to the extraterrestrial highway." That sounds like fun. Get out on the highway, right? We have Go Stay, says hello, everyone. I don't know if he's a member, but it doesn't. But there you go. So, and then we do have Douglas Blair. Yeah, Go Staying is a member. Yeah, okay. I don't know why. I'm thinking he wasn't. Dale City in the house. So there you go. So Douglas is in here, and I see him a lot of times on some of the other different YouTube channels. And we do have Mike 52G says, "Hey people." Hey, back. We have Jack, fellow friends. So the Masters was last week. They're big fans of that. So we have Brian Foster here as well. Said, "Hello, everyone. I'm going to be driving and won't be chatting. Hope everyone is doing great and safe drive home." I know it gets busy in California. And then we have Ragnar Khan. "Holy smokes, Domino's has stuffed crust pizza now." Ragnar Khan is our food connoisseur there. So anyway, and then Alan, 40 months. Wow. He's been a member a long time. So 40 months of being a member as well. So, and then let's see. We'll get into a couple other questions here. Buckyas asking, "Tim is in the house. Any status update on your Strop Bronco?" You know what? We can look that up in a second. So I might hide that. We'll come back to that. We'll look it up because some people asked me in another video if they're still seeing delays. When are they going out? I've heard some of those are being shipped out already. So they're going out, but again, quality, that's kind of like almost on even the Expeditions where they're rolling out slowly. My Expedition built back in February still hasn't shipped out the trimmer. So Strop's going to be kind of like that way. It's probably going to they're going to have quality holds and make sure they go out right. So, and then Alan in here said, "Do you have any idea what happened with the Ford Pass card?" So yes, we've actually talked about this a couple times. And not that you watch all the videos, but we have, yes. So the Ford Pass credit card, Ford is doing away with that. So that is First National Bank of Omaha I like to call FNBO, FNBO. That one there, that card, Ford is not working that anymore. I think what happened is so many people were earning Ford Pass points by using the credit card that it was just costing them a lot of money. So they're discontinuing that program as of May 27th. So use your card now as much as you can. Your points you earn with the card through May 27th will go into your Ford Pass points, and you'll have 18 months to use them. So they don't expire on the 27th, but the credit card expires in a way of earning points. So just keep that in mind. But you still can earn points with just Ford Pass points. That's not going away. Some people, the way I worded it in a video, a short that I did, they thought I said it was going away. It's not going away. It's just you're not earning the points using the credit card anymore. And so that's how that's going to work. And so at that point, it's just basically buying vehicles, servicing vehicles, buying accessories is the only way you're going to earn points. So which is kind of crazy. Or we're going to talk about it in dealer news here in just a little bit. Also, you can use it on certain different connected services as well. And then I think maybe using those, I don't know if you get any back or not. I know I use a lot of points like on a monthly basis for my premium services that I need for the Broncos so I can have navigation. So I don't like that, but that's how that'll work. So yes, so you stop earning any more points with the credit card purchases May 27th, and you have, just like anything, any points that you earn, you have 18 months to use them. So before they expire. So there you go. So that credit card from First National Bank of Omaha, we've turned into a Gear Up card. Thanks to RagdarCon. Thank you for letting me know. I actually did check my email, and I got that email as well. So Gear Up. So anytime you get like gas and things like that, you're earning points back to, I think, take off of your things you owe on the credit card. I think I need do a little more research on it, but that's the skinny on that. So, and then, yeah, Strop. We can look that up. Sarah, what you got? You come back in. Kiddos settled? No, still screaming. All right, so we can let me get into some. I do want to look up our Strop Bronco, but I want to wait until so that way I don't have a lot of dead air looking that up. So I'll try to pull that up while we're also getting to some other stuff. So let's see, did I do all the shout outs? Is there any more? I think I got all those. Let me put this over here, and I'll try to get that look up our Strop Bronco orders, but that might be difficult because I don't know the order numbers. All right. And let's see. Well, so let's get into some dealer news while we do that. Because we're not gonna do a good dealer highlight this week. Because the way I look at it is we got two good dealers that are going to be in here in our chat in just a little bit. So we'll call that our good dealer moment, because we're going to talk to Laura and Allie that are both at dealers, and those have got to be great dealers if they're willing to come in and talk on our live stream, and they go to Bronco events and such, right? How better you can get than that? So let's get into dealer news updates though. Okay, so speaking of the Ford Pass points, Ford did want to let people know that they can use their Ford Pass Rewards members points to purchase the mach-e GT performance upgrade. So on the GT, you had a performance upgrade that you could order at the time when you ordered your vehicle. But if you didn't have that on there, decided you want to get it later, then it could be added. It's basically a software update. It is like $1,000 for that. And you can now use your Ford Pass points to purchase that if you'd like to. You can do it after you purchase your vehicle at any time, so that you can now use your Ford Pass points. Other ways you can use your Ford Pass points for connected services is the Ford Connectivity Package, which we're going to see on the 25 Expedition, as well as the 25 Mustang Mach-E, Ford Blue Cruise or Lincoln Blue Cruise if you're a Lincoln customer, connected navigation. I'm using it for my Bronco Connected Nav, and the premium connectivity, which you have to pay for the premium connectivity to use a connected nav. I don't think that's fair, but you have to do that. So that's like $10 a month. And the premium connectivity gives you some other like streaming audio and some things like that, which I don't use any of those services. I only got it for the nav. But that's not for me to dictate. That's for Ford, whether I like it or not. Another dealer news update was about the 25 model year Maverick price protection and re-invoicing. So just going to read the bulletin in here. It says, we have identified an error that may impact certain retail customer ordered in fleet 25 model year Mavericks. This error may result in invoices showing the incorrect protected invoice amount on the applicable section of the invoice. So here, let me go through the rest. This error only impacts certain Lobo, Lariat, and Trimmer Mavericks ordered at job 1. So basically, vehicles are price protected from what it was when they ordered the vehicle. What Ford was doing to make it easier for dealers was when those vehicles came in, they were re-invoicing them as they left the plant with that new protected price in there on the invoice. So dealers didn't have to try to figure out what that was by going back to the Doras and everything else to figure out what the original price was. Well, there was some errors on some of the vehicles, some of the job 1 Lariat, Lobos, and well, I don't know why they said job 1 Lobos, because they're all job 2s, but and then all the Mavericks. So when those prices were, when they ordered those, if they ordered them as during job 1, like the Lobo 702A, they would have the wrong price because they should have been updated with those extra trailer control features. So because of that, the invoices are incorrect. It does say in here, new invoices will be generated for the impacted VINs to adjust the protected invoice amount to match the original DORA. The original DORA and current non-protected invoice values are accurate and will not be amended. Please ensure you are pulling and using the most up-to-date invoices when determining the price protected amount and delivering to customers. So what dealers should be doing anyway is hopefully they had already printed the ordered price, and that should be the price they should be using. Or they can also pull those doors at any time as well. So there you go. So that's all the dealer news that I have. And well, I look up and now I got a panel of people on the StreamYard. So they're ready to go. But before we get into that, because we're going to do this at Supercell too, let's get into some patches that I received and real quick. And then we'll bring our panelists in and we'll talk, because I got something else we're going to talk about before Supercell that I want their opinion on as well. But so I'm catching them off guard there. But this in here is from Nellie and Colette in Arkansas. No, wait. This in here is from Canada. So pretty cool. So check that out. And I do love the Northern Lights. That looks pretty cool. That glittery. It says Nellie of the North is their Instagram. So check that out. A couple stickers. Got a patch. There we go. And more stickers. So I got some other stickers too. There we go. So we got those there. So pretty cool. So got those. We'll get those put on Instagram so you guys can also follow them as well. And this other one is from New Jersey, Washington, New Jersey. So not Washington, D.C., Washington, New Jersey. And we got a couple of stickers. New Jersey, the Garden State. So they sent 2 of these. Oh, this is from Rushman. He's usually in our chat. Pretty cool. It's Bronco Sport. It's pretty awesome. And a letter. We'll read the letter in a little bit. Oh, and then patches. So these are iron-on patches. Pretty cool. So there you go. Awesome. And then stickers as well with the state. Pretty cool. So it's cool to see people joining in on that, especially Bronco Sport and Bronco people, but also others. And we'll read the letter here as well. Rushman's one of our followers. And so pretty cool to see that. So we'll get into that as well here in just a little bit. So, all right. Y'all ready for this? They're not ready. They're all looking down. All right. We're going to bring everybody. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Sarah, you want into? I'll let Sarah just push herself in if she's coming in. She got kiddos being loud. How's it going, everybody?
Good. How are y'all?
Doing good. So we're going to go around. Laura, introduce yourself a little bit for people that may not know who you are. You've been interviewed by Sarah for her All Women Driven. You guys got to make sure you follow on that and see that. So Laura, tell us where you're from and everything else.
I'm Laura Boston. I'm from Central Illinois, kind of by Chicago, but it's not Chicago. It's 2 hours from Chicago, in a quiet little country town. I work for my dad, who owns a Ford dealership, and looking to take it over someday. And I love Broncos.
Yeah.
And Supercell.
Supercell, right?
Yes, and that's where I kind of met. I met Allie, I met Tim, I met all, Jess and everybody, all these cool people, all the Bronco supercells, and so it's neat.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Allie. You've been on here before, but just in case people are coming in, let us know where you're from. You're from a dealer as well.
Yeah, I'm from Brighton Ford, from a dealer, like an hour-ish from Detroit. I was made our Bronco specialist, got fully hooked, and now I'm a full-blown enthusiast.
And you'll be at Supercell too, right?
Absolutely.
We're seeing a theme here. I'm inviting people in that I know are going to be here.
I think there's a trend.
Right? There's a trend. All right, Jess and Mark.
Hi, we're a Bronco power couple. So
Goals.
Mark and I
hashtag goals.
Yeah, do not work for a dealership, but we give dealerships lots of money. We're both Bronco owners. We're located in Middle Tennessee. So I currently own a 24 Wild Track. Traded in my 22. Decided I needed a fresh start and might as well get a new Bronco, right? So, and this will be my third Supercell coming up next week.
Cool.
And I've got a 22 Wild Track as well, 2-door. One of the few of the 2-door crowd. Right. Been to Supercell since I got my Bronco back in 22. And as the tag says, we help out with ATN, All Train Nation. Dave and Kelly over there help cover events for them, and just get out there and see what the world has to offer.
And just to let people know, I did invite Dave and Kelly on, and he said he had to umpire some games tonight. And I said, well,
Dave's trying to earn Supercell money.
You're right.
Some pocket change.
I said, well, I'll hope for rain, and we'll see if you get in there. But evidently, it's not raining. So anyway, well, thanks for joining us, and I appreciate it. And we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about Supercell. But did you guys see the Bronco stuff that was revealed today?
Yeah,
we were just talking about that. Yeah.
So I don't know
Mark's already in line to try to get some of those concept vehicles.
Yeah, because if they'll sell me the 2-door Raptor parts, like I will just buy the parts and put it on my 2-door. Like, yeah, absolutely.
So
I get to see them on the 3rd.
What?
Oh yeah,
jealous.
Is it Hollyoaks?
We have the notes. Okay.
Yeah. Not disclose the rest.
I'm gonna be there too. I'm going. I'm gonna make it work.
What is this that I'm not included into here that's going on?
I said I get to see those Broncos on the 3rd.
Some other event that I still didn't get invited to.
Well, I know it's a Ford event. I'm going. So the owner of Hollyoaks said that I could show up, and I'm like working for him. I'm like done.
Right. Yep. Well, I didn't even know this was happening. I just all of a sudden the articles dropped, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this one, like I heard rumors of them.
Yeah.
But I thought, because like they kept calling them test vehicles. So what I pictured was they have a few test mules that they just put like accessories on that look just, I mean, no fenders, no nothing. They're just normal looking Broncos. So that's what I thought they were. And then this dropped this morning, and I'm like, hello. That was a good surprise.
Well, and Mark had a theory about it, and kind of thinking, a couple days ago, Jeep dropped all their concept vehicles at Easter Jeep Safari. So we're curious if Ford was like, oh, hey, wait a second, look at us.
Be like, checkmate.
So
right?
I just dropped a link into a Detroit Free Press article. I think they did probably one of the better jobs. I saw 2 different articles. And so that's I dropped that. We'll talk about that, but let's pull these up because people are like, what are you talking about? So let's see, I put it in here. There we go. Ooh, it's all 5 of us over there. So this is there's a couple vehicles that they're highlighting. They're saying these aren't concept vehicles. They're more of to highlight the accessories that can be put on these, other than they did a pretty good little wrap on this, which is pretty cool. I do love that color, by the way. I'm like, where's that color? We need that color. But we thought that was pretty cool. So there's 2 different versions. So I'll run through. This is the 4-door version that they have, and they didn't really go through, I don't think, a lot of the things that were added to this. Let's see. So they're naming one, the arches from Arch National Park, which is right there in Moab. So
That color is so unique.
isn't it? Yeah, we
I
were
like
talking
it.
today that we wish that we'd see more of the Ford colors
Yeah.
that were early some of those early colors, that man, they really need to bring back, and instead of some of these colors. I know Allie had a gray Bronco, but less grays and more less
Hey,
blues and more of these,
I've
right?
been team
Here,
carb
Tim, we're
gray.
all kind of team gray.
We're Team Gray, so careful.
You're all grays, huh?
Watch
So,
yourself.
there are certain grays I like.
Yeah,
Carb
because
gray
wait,
is
now I'm
not.
Azure Gray. I'm really in this group. And Carb Gray, now I have Azure Gray.
See,
Yeah,
I'm
and
blue.
That's
I'm all
more blue though.
Yeah,
So-
but you're right. Like this color, it's a little reddish, right? But it reads so brown to me.
Yeah.
And like brown's coming back. It has been for a couple years. So, and I think putting that on an off-road vehicle just really kind of makes a statement, especially with those graphics. And it very much reminds me of my first car, which was a 1978 Ford LTD in really, really brown.
See, I love it because like you can add like they accented it so well.
Yes. So the with the red accents that they did and the graphics on the side, which is really cool. And there are some other images here. So these images are courtesy of my Clark friends, Brian and Melissa. They got me these. Well, wait, we won't say who got them. Well, it's too late now. Anyway,
Too late.
they got me these.
Recording.
But I do like all the red accents on that, which is pretty cool. And then what's
Ragnar kind of has a good point. I wonder if that is Kodiak brown with like a wrap or like a matte wrap or something.
I don't know. So we had a Lincoln vehicle that had that Kodiak brown color. I don't think Lincoln didn't call it that, but Barb loved that brown color. It was it was beautiful. I don't know, but yes, it looks pretty cool. But so what's unique about this is actually a Badlands, which is most of you that are dealers with me know Badlands doesn't come with body colored fender flares. But so I'm like, is this Outer Banks or does it Badlands?
Right.
But it's supposed to be built on a Badlands with a modular front bumper on it. I didn't see what winch it had on there, but nice.
Got a warm winch on
tire.
the front, the light bar on the roof.
Yeah, the article said anything that they put on the cars you can pretty much get from Ford Performance.
Yes. Yeah. So I have it here. I wasn't going to read it word for word, but the 40-inch BF Goodrich Baja TA Evo 3.0 S tires, Fox live valve shocks, which is that what they're putting on the Raptor? Those same
No,
shocks?
but that's the description for the 2-door, Tim. That's not the 4-door that you're showing right now.
Oh, yes, you're right. I skipped down.
Dang it, Tim.
Because I was like, those aren't 40s. And
Well,
I was
they
in
look
depth
like
reading on the
37s.
2-door. So I was like, oh, I can put all that stuff on mine.
I don't see all the notes on what they added to the 4-door. I don't know if they listed it or not.
They didn't, from what I saw, they didn't do a lot of extra stuff on the Badlands. It is a wrap. They did the bumper, the worn winch, the light bar on the front.
Yeah.
And then there's and they didn't really show any interior stuff, but they talked about some fun Easter eggs throughout the thing, specialty longitude, latitude, location stuff. And
There's the
other
2-door.
Easter eggs.
There's the
I love
2-door.
that.
It's got the 40s on it.
Yes.
So there you go.
Nice.
Which, I mean, it's like everybody's wanting a 2-door Raptor. This is going to make them just salivate right here. So,
if they can show me how they got the Raptor flares on the back end of the 2-door, I think the front I can just pull off of a Raptor, but the back is the trick because those run into the back doors. So, I want to see those come to market.
I don't know. They had to been. And they say these are one-offs, that they're not building these.
No.
They're just, like you said, and like Allie said, they're parts that you can get there for performance. They even have the Raptor tail lights, it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm liking those tube doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put some sort of insert in the tube door. So,
Yeah.
I like the way that looks a lot more.
You can tell, look at the color, though. That's race red.
Yeah,
So-
even the
right there.
2-door has like a stripe thing going on the bottom part of it. I want to know what they did for that.
It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Looks pretty cool. They don't have as many of those. And then, of course, they have their Off-Roadeo. They made an Off-Roadeo course here, a little course for people to come and do off-roading.
Yeah, we gotta try to convert all these Jeepers.
Right? and to let people know there, if you buy a Bronco, you get to go to Bronco Off-Roadeo. So that's the other thing they're highlighting there. So, but yeah, looks pretty cool, and it's kind of cool to see. Oh, they did say that was code orange. Wait a minute, what's it say here? Bronco open air design, so it accented the roof rails code orange as well.
Oh, cool.
So each vehicle has its own arch. The cliffhanger project. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. Looks pretty cool, though. They need to do more of that, though. Definitely colors. I was thinking, now, Jess, you actually did a wrap on yours, did you say the other night?
I did, yeah. So I just I got PPF, just a paint protection film, but I went for a matte version. So it really looks good against the cactus gray. I switched from carbonized gray to cactus gray, so it's a lot lighter, a lot different, and just kind of gives a whole another feel to it. I also have the gloss black top, so matting down that paint really makes that roof pop. In the driveway so far. It's by no means set up to be a mall crawler, but we haven't gotten it dirty yet. And now I'm afraid to.
Well, I already have so many different trail lines on my Bronco that I'm just like, maybe I should just do that wrap on it. So,
and that's exactly why I decided for the new one that I was going to wrap it before I took it into the wild, because my 22 was all sorts of banged up. It had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was worth
We had hail come through, so they did inspect mine. I'm getting a new hood. So for my
Oh, dang.
Bronco, that's how much hail it had. We have Barb doesn't know this yet if she's in here. Her Expedition is getting a new roof completely. A whole Expedition, like $8,000, and they getting a whole new roof from the hail.
So that happened to my manager last year, and it was during a lot of the part shortage. Like, he waited 8 months for a new roof. I mean, like, thankfully we had a loaner to like put his wife in.
Yeah.
And not realizing how over her miles she was going to be, so it kind of saved them as well. So, kind of funny.
Yep. Anyway, all right. Bronco Supercell is next week, so probably I would say, do you guys agree it's probably the biggest, assembly of Broncos of any event?
Oh yeah,
By far.
Absolutely.
By far.
I haven't
So
been to the Colorado one, but it sounds like it's bigger than Colorado, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Colorado's like a hundred, like 200-300 maybe.
Oh.
yeah, Colorado is weird because you go in there and you don't see any Broncos all day, and then about 4 or 5 o'clock they all just roll in from the trails. So it's like if you're not there by 9, you won't see any Broncos. You'll be like, what's going on? Is there an event going on here or what? It's because they're all out on the trails, and then they all just trickle in the evening, and then Saturday is the big day that you just see them all. But yeah, this is my 3rd year at Tennessee. Coming to Tennessee, so that'll be cool. And I think Laura, did you say it's your 3rd year, or did you?
Yeah, it is. I missed the first year, and I saw it like all on social media, and I was like, that looks cool.
Exactly what happened to me. I was like, okay, I gotta go next year. So
Yeah.
anyway, and so this is our 3rd year. We've been to Colorado twice, and we went to Wisconsin, which is where I met Laura. But we always, Barb and I really kind of like the Tennessee one. They are all different, just like Tom says, and what you do. I love the Colorado one because I like the trails, just going out on the trails. But Tennessee is it's fun to just see everybody, it's kind of like a reunion, so it's really fun.
That's the thing. You get to see everybody that you get to like interact with on social media, but like you don't actually get to hang out with them in person. But it's like you pick up where you left off.
Right.
So that's the cool thing.
Yeah. And vendors too. I mean, I've been to Colorado and such, but it seems like there's more vendors at this one, and a lot of them that are helping. Like, I even think about that. Like this year, I was like, you know what? I want to have these things put on, but you know what? I'm going to wait until then, and then they'll put it on for me. So many of these, vendors will just like, hey, we'll install it for you, which is really nice. So it's kind of like. Sometimes like this year, I was even thinking, I want a couple of other underbody protection, but I'll just wait and have IAG put them on.
Yeah, I'm going to end up dropping some money at IAG. So
yeah, right. I actually a couple weeks ago sent a shopping list to one of the vendors and said, "This is all the things I need for Supercell. Please bring them." And
I'll give you my Bronco.
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll install at least half of them, if not more. Mark's hoping they install half of them.
Mark is like, please.
I already have a list from Dave of stuff that I have to install on the Raptor when we get to Supercell. So
Yeah, we're going to be doing live installs at the ATN booth. So
There you go.
There we go. I'll see you there. I'll just set the camera up and you can
that'd be
just
great.
watch it so I know what to do. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I mean, I think earlier I saw a post from April 11th to 24. Then it said before, and then it says you can choose your after. And I'm like, you know what's funny is that that's what the Bronco looked like before I left for Supercell. But when it came back, it didn't look like that because of the things I added to it. It's like, so I put a picture of what it was like when it came back.
That's so funny.
Because I had added some things because I think I added when I took that picture, it was the weekend before, and I installed a winch before I left. So I had the winch, but everything else, IAG put stuff on there and everything else.
I like the lights you guys did last year with IAG in the front.
Yep.
Didn't you both?
Allie already had them. Allie sold them to me. So it
was really bad. I felt so bad after because I was talking about some parts and Tim's like, oh, that's a really good idea. And he like looks at that like IAG. He goes, can we add those on? He was mad at me for like an hour.
Well, we were both going, well, look what I added. And look, we were going back and forth throwing out Broncos. It's kind of funny.
Allie,
so bad.
You were not the only one that did that to him. Melissa and Brian did that as well.
Oh, for sure.
You guys are going to listen to the Bronco that come in. I did add the horn, so that's a must.
Oh, cool! I want that.
That is a blast, and I've heard people at other events. I think when I went to Colorado, there were some
horse
people that had that. Yeah, the horse. Yeah, that's a must. And for a while, Barb, she didn't like it. She's like, oh, you're gonna embarrass me. But now, like, if we see somebody that like do the horn, it's like,
that's so funny.
So it's funny. We pulled up beside this little truck, and the kid was in there in a car seat. Window was rolled down, facing backwards, so I was looking right at me. So I'm like, I'm doing it. So I hit that, and the guy driving the truck looked over, like, what's going on? And I'm laughing, the kid's laughing, and he's like, so they kind of understood. But kids love it. But
that's hilarious,
and big kids love it. So it's a
we're
lot of
amused
fun.
with the easiest things. That's fine.
Right. All right. So go around. I want to find out what is the thing that you really most enjoy about Supercell? Vendors, the drives, the people. What is your favorite thing, or one that you're most looking forward to next week?
Oh, who wants to start? I'll start. Mainly one of the things that, Allie mentioned is just coming together with everybody. It's sort of like the annual reunion. I think especially for a lot of us, we're all pretty active on social media. If anybody in the chat doesn't know, Unbridled Bronco on the grams. But it's so great to, you see people post and share each other's stuff all year round, but to be able to come together in that community in person is really great. Like, it's my favorite thing. You get to meet people in real life and you're like, oh, you're this person and you're that person. And, just you build long lasting friendships and keeps the ones that you've made. And it really, Broncos brought that together for hundreds of us now.
Yeah.
I think it was last year. It might have been the first year where I think I connected with you guys on social, but it was like first time that we met in person.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always, that's fun to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty excited this year. I'm sorry not to hog the space. Mark and I will be posted up, like we said, at ATN, representing the ATN Off-Road channel, which we're really trying to get a lot of content, hopefully this year, to bring. So we're excited that we have a place to be and that people can come and find us, because that's the other hard thing, is finding people.
Yeah, I think David mentioned me bringing a Bronco over, so I'll have to connect with him and see that. But so yeah, I'll talk about my thing in a little bit. But
awesome.
Again, for the camaraderie and meeting people that we've met online, but I also like to see what innovation IAG, all the stuff that the vendors start bringing out. Supercell East, it's kind of a showcase for all that. So IAG last year had an amazing semi and booth set up. All their parts were on display, and I mean, just to go around to all the vendors, and see what is coming to market, what the changes are, and try to hang very dearly onto my purse strings so I don't spend too much money.
Yeah,
Dave and I have a
same
terrible
thing.
back and forth that I'll buy something or he'll buy something, and then the other one has to buy it as well. Kelly yells at me all the time for influencing Dave, but it's just a great time, and just seeing everyone's Broncos, seeing something. And if you guys haven't seen mine, my handle is at Bronco. It's the Star Wars Bronco. I have a pretty unique wrap on mine, and a lot of people sought me out last year because I had revealed it online and then displayed it at Supercell. And I love going around and seeing other people's Broncos and what they have done and how and that's the great thing about Bronco is it's so personable, so unique. Every one of us makes it our own in some form or fashion. And then to talk to those owners and find out why. What is the backstory? Why did you do this? Or if they've created stuff. There's a couple that we met when we were out at SEMA, and they're Broncos all over. They win a ton of awards in California. And they're kind of iffy on it at first, but they're hand making carbon fiber parts and replacing everything on the Bronco, and their stuff's phenomenal. And that couple is solely vested in that Bronco, and those builds are wild. Those things are great to see, and that's what I love about Supercell is it brings all of those people together. And then you also get all the classic stuff, the original Broncos, seeing those that have been restored or still just patinaed but are roadworthy or have been trailered in. I mean, that's where all that history is. And they're just great vehicles, no matter what generation it is. They are awesome to look at.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Because it's so cool listening to where, the early Broncos, where you got it from, how many parts have you put into it to, keep it going. Everyone has a story with it, and I think that's kind of the most, unique thing about Supercell and, meeting everybody. But it's truly just hanging out with everyone. Talk to the vendors. Give them ideas for products, because I guarantee you if you have an idea, they may pick you to test it because you gave them that idea type of a thing. But no, it's just I don't think there's one bad thing about this event.
Right?
It's
I
so
mean,
fun.
well,
Yeah,
I'm looking. I got my book, by the way. Ali, you can let
Oh
Tom
yeah,
know.
it's
Yep.
great.
I think this was awesome having this, so we don't have to go to registration. This
Tom
is
is
awesome.
so proud of those. He came up with those, and he's wait until you see what we have in store. And for anybody in the chat who is wondering where theirs are, it is USPS. Give them time. If you don't have it by Friday, email Tom.
Well,
He
I
will take care
figured
of it.
worst case, I just go to registration. So, because at first
Exactly.
I'm like, did I register? I can't even remember. I registered so
No,
long
me
ago.
too.
I wasn't sure. I was like, and then the people's packets were coming in. I'm like, I asked Bark. She always gets the mail. I said, did anything come in from Bronco drivers? No.
You got your
I don't
badge
know.
too, right?
Huh?
You got
Yeah.
your badge too. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got ours. We're also in Tennessee where they came from, so it wasn't too far. I got mine 2 days ago, and I think I saw today people in Texas and Florida were getting theirs. So they're
good.
making their way through the rest of the country.
Kind of like the vehicles,
Right?
Just a little bit.
By the way, I have patches. Sarah can tell you this. We were working through somebody to do these patches.
I was about to bring it up.
2 months ago, I did this way in advance to make sure they were ready. They said we started this at the beginning of February. I'm
Same.
like, okay, easy enough time. And they were working on it. I said, are you producing these? What is going on? I said, I need these by this date. And I was stupid. I'm like, okay, I need them by the 21st of April. And so I'm like, oh, I should have told them a week earlier than that. And they're like, no problem. It only takes 4 weeks or 4 days to get it shipped. I'm like, you're shipping it from Pakistan. You've got to give yourself more than 4 days.
Wait, who did you go through?
I don't know. All of them are in Pakistan.
Diamond patches?
Diamond
No,
patches.
dang it. I don't think I went through that one because I'm going through the same thing. I messaged him in February.
Most of the nothing against it because they do a great job because the quality is good. But they're all made in Pakistan.
Yeah.
I tried to go through somebody that I thought was in the U.S. and ended up being they still made it in Pakistan. So I'm like,
yeah.
But anyway,
we messaged him 2 months ago to start the process. We didn't get any proofs until a month later.
Yeah, it
And
was crazy.
we had to initiate, be like, do you have any word on these? And then, a week later, oh yeah, here you go. Here's a proof. Please approve. And I'm like, dude, we need these in like a month.
I told
you
him
gonna
on
have them
Friday, I
ready?
said, it needs to be shipped out now. I said, I want it shipped out. I said, I don't work this. I don't like this.
Well,
I
and then
said,
he
and I
was like,
let him
when
know.
I was like, hey, we need these in a month, he was just, yeah, I was just like, he's like, oh, so you need these like sooner? And I'm like, how long was it gonna take you if we didn't rush you? 3 months? 4 months? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm going through the same thing right now. I'm nervous that mine won't be here. I'll be really sad.
So I got 2 different patches, and I have the state one and I have just the Bronco. So I have those. I'll be doing the 2 patches and 2 stickers as well, and then this. So I have trading cards.
Oh yeah, you told me
look
about
at
that.
you.
Oh, someone stepped up the game.
Wow.
So
Cool.
this is Pinkie Pie is who I got the idea from. I'm not that smart. So they had the idea and they put it on Instagram. Like, okay, now that is the next. So
Yeah.
you can't. I don't know if you can tell, but like baseball cards would have what year they were drafted and such. So this has the year, and mine's a 2021. The trim is a Big Bend. The hometown is Salina, Kansas, and then you tell the different modifications or highlights about it. So I put all the different mods, and they're not all on here, but I can only fit a few, so many.
I can
But
only fit so many.
I need a second page. But yeah, so then that picture was taken in Colorado, and Jeff did some cool stuff with it. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
See,
so
that's
anyway.
my favorite part is the patch swaps, because it's cool seeing how creative everybody is and all the different
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah,
Besides
it's
the
fun.
scenery and
So I have some of those, and these, they have a company that makes the cards, and then even Jeff actually made these for me. He pretty much put this together. So we found a template somewhere, and he goes, I can do that same thing. We don't need to buy the template. So he pretty much created it through Photoshop and everything. So now he has a master template. So if anybody wants one, you could, I could connect you with him, and he would do it for you. So anyway, but he could probably do that, but he did those for me. And then we just a company that printed them. It was like less than, I can't remember. Do you remember, Sarah? I don't remember. I feel like I want to say less than $30 maybe at the most. I don't know. For 100.
I can't remember,
oh,
but they got it to you quick. It's like
Way
Yeah.
cheaper than patches.
Way cheaper than patches.
Right. Right. So that's fun. So I'll be giving those out, and I think that'll be the new thing. And then the next year, everybody will have these.
Everyone will see that this year and start.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how can we one up the year prior?
you can put the name of your
well,
Bronco.
you have the poker chips too.
Yeah.
People have those. Some
Yeah,
people
I've
don't.
seen some.
I'm not
Mhm.
really into the poker chips, but I got
Oh,
a
I
big
don't.
stack of them over here.
What's the poker chip thing?
Everybody does these
Haven't
poker
seen
chips.
those?
No.
It's like a poker run kind of thing. And so they'll put their Bronco on one side,
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
and then this one has.
I have a stack I've gotten from
name.
people at my desk.
Oh yeah, I got.
Oh my
I got a
god,
whole
do I
stack
need
of
to
them.
try
Gotten out to
poker
the Midwest
chips
yet.
before? Just kidding.
I got,
I have
like,
too
a
much
whole
on my
stack of 'em.
plate. I can't do another thing. God damn.
I know. I'm just like, okay. I think I'm out on the chip thing. I might have to.
Kind of like, where
At
do
some
you
point, I've got
stop?
to stop. I wasn't gonna do patches, and then I'm like, all right, I'm doing patches.
I finally caved and did patches this year, Tim, but I went kind of old school with mine, and they're like old school embroidered patches just with my logo.
It still
Because I
counts.
still, yeah, but I was still kind of like, I don't want to do everybody's doing patches. I don't want them. Like, okay, fine, I'll do patches. So of course I needed to make them just a little bit different.
Peer pressure is amazing.
No, I did them not only for one Bronco but 2 Broncos, so it was really expensive.
What I did, Allie's idea of putting them on a board from Supercell, and so that's what I did for all the ones that I got at Tennessee
here.
last year are on one board. Colorado's on another board, so I need to get another one for. I mean, when I bring them back, I'll put those all on another.
I was
Which-
gonna say you can
what I-
kind of see my 2025 board right there.
Yeah.
I'll bring it.
Well, usually when we're pictured this way, we had them all on the wall over here and my patches too. But that way, I don't have to worry about whether or not I've gotten patches from them. I'm like, well, did I get a patch for you or not? I can just go, okay, these are the Tennessee 2025 ones, and I just put them on there. So anyway, so that's always fun. But all right, Laura, did you tell us what you're looking forward to?
Everything. Seeing everybody. It's been kind of a long winter, and I was sad to see him go at Woodward, or to part with. So I don't know, just seeing everybody and the patch swaps, and I get to go to Off-Roadeo this year, so it's a little bit special. And then I'm kid free as well. So
no kids.
no, because
That's what she's really looking forward to.
But yeah, I know they always love it at Tennessee, but so yeah, and the scenery and everything, and I like to educate myself too with all the people selling things and everything, so I can help educate customers in that too, knowing what's out there, if they're frustrated with something or whatnot.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, for me, I can't pick. I mean, I like to do the drives and everything. Last year we did one of the hill something. What was it? I can't remember what it's called now. Where you go up the hilltop, or no, it's not called hilltop. What is it?
Tail of the Dragon is my favorite one.
So if you do Parsons Branch, does that get part of Tail of the Dragon?
It's like
Did I hear?
It's like the last little part of it.
Right.
So when you come out of Parsons Branch, then which way do you go to hit the rest of Tail of the Dragon or whatever?
I think it comes out on
I don't remember.
Tail of the Dragon.
I think
That's what I would.
There might be a description in the program guide, Tim, because I noticed that this year, or I saw it online. One of the rides was, some trails, and then you scoot into the dragon a little bit. So that's what I'm going to try to talk Mark into going on with me.
Yeah, because I want to do. I didn't do that last year, and so I want to do Parsons Branch this year. I don't know if I'll do the off-road park or not. I'm not sure. I've decided if I want to do that. Because, like I said, there's Colorado, I feel, is all about the trails. And so, I want to spend time with the people too and everything and hang out with them and not spend the whole time in my Bronco, driving around, or whatever. But I do want to do Parsons Branch, and Cades Cove is pretty awesome too, because you get to go through it. It does say in here, this drive starts tranquil with the beginning of the Cades Cove loop. From there, the drive enters an 8-mile dirt road with twists, water crossings, which I think we've a lot of fun, and some cobble rocks. It ends at mile marker 3 on the Dragon, where you will experience 30 winding turns to get the Foothills Parkway. Foothills Parkway is the drive I did last year. From there, you will see a calm, scenic drive back to the venue. So, anyway. So I don't know. I don't want to get in a big group and feel like either I'm holding them up or, or something. I kind of want to go with the small groups. I don't know if I'll go with everybody else. When I did that at Supercell in Colorado and got a smaller group there was 5 or 6 or 8 of us. Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. It was fun because there's a lot of smaller group, and I felt like you can take the time or whatever.
Yeah, I really want to take. I don't know if I'll lead. I'll probably end up leading, but I really want to go to Cades Cove early one morning, even if it's right when the sun's kind of coming up, just to see everything, because I heard it's just breathtaking. Yeah,
and there's some pull-off areas, and we did Cades Cove last year, we didn't stop, and so Barb mentioned that she wants to pull off in some of those places.
Yeah,
and last year we did the Foothills Parkway, and everybody drove, and it was just we just drove the whole thing, and I was like, are we not going to stop at these nice scenic, because here I'm driving, looking over, trying to see the trees, and I'm like, I want to stop so that I don't have to crash into the Bronco in front of me or anything. But so we'll probably that's where we're at on that, is maybe take a little time and stop at those pull-offs or whatever. So that's why I kind of want to know what the course is, even though I've never done it, just so that I can just do it. I mean, if we need to do it on our own and take our time, then we can and enjoy it. But that one says it's 4 hours. It's not bad, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, kind of a little bit of both. But
is that the one that they're doing 3?
This one here is on Wednesday. Well, this says Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Oh,
Parsons Branch. But they do it it seems like every day there's one going through there.
Yeah.
Right? Is there one? Maybe not. Oh, there's one. The Northeast Bronco Nation Drive is at 9:30 on Thursday, and they're doing Parsons Branch. So
Yeah,
and
I
they
think
have
there's
the
a
same
handful of options. And I was, again, Allie, I'll have to tell Tom when I see him next week. I was really impressed with the program books. Like,
Oh,
you know,
please do. He's so excited about them.
all the information's on the website. You know, we've never had a problem in all the years before, but you know, opening that little packet and be like, oh, look, I can plan my day out, and it has little bonus
right there,
information. Like, I was really excited about it.
Yep, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's one on Friday too at 9 a.m. that
Awesome.
someone's doing. So, and that's the thing. I might, if we do something, go. I don't know. I don't mind going with people like that, but you're really just falling behind them in a sense
Yeah.
anyway. You're not really interacting with them much, on some of those. When you go on off-roading, sometimes you do. But so that was my thought was, if maybe a small group wanted to go or something. But anyway, but I didn't think I wanted to do the Tail of the Dragon. But if you get part of it with that, then that's a win-win. You get Kate's Cove, you get Parsons Branch, some water crossing, and you get Tail of the Dragon. Why not? There you go. It's
all the things.
Yeah, if you get out there, Tim, come pick me up on the way out because I really want to do that.
Yeah, so we want to do that. So we gotta. I thought about there was that off-road one. They were doing a ladies one, so I thought maybe Barb would take a Bronco and go and do that because she's been driving off-road more than I have lately. And but it's on Wednesday. We won't be there yet. But anyway, so then there's a drive-in Wednesday night, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then what is it? Is it Thursday night that they're doing the Off-Roadeo, Bronco Off-Roadeo?
Yeah.
We'll probably go to that evening.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to the Off-Roadeo meetup just to see. Yes, you get to see all the people on the show field, but like everyone who's like super active like in Bronco Nation, and like you only see them at those events too, like even like the workers and stuff. Some special people are flying, or no, they're driving in. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Cool. That'll be fun. Well, I did see, I think on Instagram, Laura did that. They did the Bronco Sport thing, and I said, "You're going to go to Tennessee," and she said they were going to be there. And so I don't know. Are they going to have a booth, Bronco Nation?
They will have a booth. Yes.
They will. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They will not have the trailer this year.
Okay. So they're not going to have their merch. Then basically is what you're saying.
No, they'll have the merch at
Off-Roadeo.
Off-Roadeo. Don't worry, Laura. You can spend it at Off-Roadeo.
Yeah, just go to Off-Roadeo. I wanted to actually I have the sticker from Tennessee because Sarah and I did the embargoed event, so we were able to get the little Tennessee patch and do a little makeshift little trail drive that they had ready at the time. But so for those that don't know, here's their show field. It's just huge.
Oh, cool. I need to go get the mail.
And it is, it is
right, Laura.
now, which is nice.
So,
yeah, and
anyway,
they will have anybody in the chat that's in a local club check the list online or in the program guide. There is club parking like there always has been. So there's 2 laundry lists of Bronco clubs from all over the country that have specific parking. And you don't have to park there. There's all sorts of other spots to park too. I know there's a lot of questions about what happens at Supercell. And I tell people, I said, we hang out in a field for 4 days and have a great time. Like, what else do you need to know?
The first year, Barb's like, "So what are we doing at this thing? What are we doing? We're going to go out in the field and we're going to hang with people, I think." She goes, "A car show for 3 days, really?" And then we got doing it. She goes, "Okay, I want to go back next year." Because I think
so
that
addicting.
the first year we did Tennessee, we did Wisconsin and Colorado because we went to Wisconsin thinking, okay, we want to do that again. So we went to Wisconsin, which is a little different because those days it's like it's not busy until Saturday. In Wisconsin, it seems like, and it's like, where's everybody at? We're there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's so fun at the water park, though.
Yes, I'm not a big water park person, but yeah, here's all the clubs. So there's a lot of clubs there.
There's a
Well,
lot
you
of
don't even have to go on the water park. You just go in the hot tub and then hang out with Bronco people. Like it's
True.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
the weather holds up for next week, the field will be a water park. So bring your rain jackets.
I've been jinxing it. I've been looking.
Yeah, will you stop? I'm going.
Fingers
I was
crossed.
gonna start packing, and then I'm like, I need to know the weather.
Just
Well,
pack
that's the good
everything
part
and we'll be
about-
covered.
Yeah, it's a good part about driving to an event is like you can just load up your whole Bronco with like anything
Right.
you need.
Yeah. Well, so I'll have to decide what parking and where I'm going to park when. because I say,
I
well,
don't know
I'm part of the Michigan Bronco Club.
Yeah.
I'm part of
I
the
know.
Midwest Bronco Club.
That's my
I was
problem.
gonna say everyone here is a part of Michigan Bronco Club. I don't care. The
Right?
more the merrier.
The Mile High Broncos won't be there, or they don't have a club anyway there. The whatever. Texas, I hung out with
No, I
them a
think
couple
there
weeks
are some
ago.
people going from Colorado.
Yep. Broncos of Texas, I joined their club recently. I went and did some off-roading with them down in Texas, so they're going to be there.
That's cool.
So, yeah, a lot of clubs. So it's like, I don't know, I'll just park wherever. Brad, I know it's Bronco Nation's not listed. So they're not going to have a corral or anything, or are they?
That's where I usually park. But
Oh yeah, they've usually had corral, but they're doing the show and shine area in that spot, I
Yeah.
think, this year.
I actually have to ask Tom about that. I don't know.
Battle of the Broncos, right? Sorry.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's a sign there, but I mean, they're such a sponsor, so
I'll just drive around until I see somebody I know and can I park beside you.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Just find the cool
we're
Broncos.
just gonna park and
Right.
hope for the best.
So, you guys have cool looking Broncos. So are you going to do the Battle of the Broncos?
I am.
I am.
I might not
Yeah.
win, but it's all right.
I don't know.
Mark's gonna
Please
win.
do it.
I don't want to enter.
What
I
I
don't
like
know.
about Tom and the way he does
We
Battle
should
of the
do it.
Broncos, it's not a typical show and shine
Yeah.
because Tom understands that most of us, especially the Gen 6s, we wheel our Broncos. There's
Yeah.
mud in the engine bay. There's mud on the floors or underneath.
Yeah.
And he and I talked last year, and he's all like, it's not fair that yours, which is utilized on a regular basis, gets points deducted next to the guy that parks it in a garage and shines his chrome every single weekend. So that's one of the things that I like about the way that he does it at Supercell, and the fact that he doesn't necessarily ding you for having, some mud splatter or a stain or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Tom loves Broncos. Like, he wants to see those things on a Bronco and know that it's being utilized. So,
Yeah.
otherwise,
it's
I mean, it's hard to compete with someone that literally just lives for a show and shine, and theirs is always show ready. So,
Yeah.
We do cars and coffees out here, and I'll bring my Bronco up, and it's just like it's not quite the same. Everybody's got their Mustangs that are just like perfect and everything. But then we'll see some beat up old cars out here too. So it's like, okay, so it's just kind of a hangout. But yeah, so I was debating on that because the first year I went to Tennessee, I didn't put mine out. I'm like, no, because it says at least 3 modifications, and my opinion, I didn't think a Roush package was a modification. It's like, that's not a modification. But well, it is really. But so then after that, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll do it next time. So then in Wisconsin, I did it and won, and then again in Colorado and won, and then last year in Tennessee, I was surprised that I picked my Bronco. But yeah, it's fun because he gets quite a bit out, so quite a bit of those. So I was debating on that. I'm like, well, it's supposed to be best battle of the Broncos. I'm like, I don't know, but we've added quite a bit of stuff, so. We'll see. It's not too bad. $25 isn't too bad. I was thinking it was gonna be more than that.
I think it was only 20, wasn't it? Was it 25?
25.
I don't know.
It was funny.
I think it.
And the thing is, like, I had a lot of backlash that I didn't really know how to. For those who don't know, I'm the one. Like, if you message Bronco Driver Magazine, hey, you're talking to me 99% of the time.
Right.
But I had so many messages like backlashing about the Battle of the Broncos and that you had to pay $25. Like, we want to do the people that are serious about showing their Bronco, not just doing it for whatever. Because Tom wants everyone to walk away with something.
Yeah.
With a trinket, with a memory piece, like literally anything. So, like, this is his kind of way to, like, kind of narrow that down to the people that are really serious about it. Because, like, you have some early Broncos that are like, they're very serious about this stuff. Like, we all think it's super fun and things like that, but it's just like, there's some people that they detail every part of that engine bay, like you name it. So like, this is their time to truly, like, no pun intended, like truly shine and show like what they have done to this thing. So some people are a little mad, but they have to understand, like, it's just a part of it. It is.
So when do we sign up for that? Do we do it?
You can do it on the show field too.
Okay.
But you have to park your Bronco from
10 to 2
10 to 2
on Saturday.
Yep, only on Saturday. You can
Right.
park it anywhere else, but from 10 to 2, we will be there judging your cars. He has a full list of things that he's looking for, and you'll be ranked.
Cool. Does a YouTuber count in that? Does that help?
You get bonus points for
Let's
sweet
give it
matches.
a shot. Make sure you
Points for
put it in
being
your
on YouTube?
description. Just put, I will post this on YouTube.
I'll interview you.
All the
Come on,
things.
Tom.
So
Come on the
good.
live stream. Anyway, can't buy my way into an award, can I?
No, but I think in last year, I mean, all you had to do last year to be judged was put your hood up, and like you looked across the field, and every single
Everybody's
Bronco
just up.
had their hood up, and Tom was all like, "I'll never get to all of this."
Right.
It was so hard, and like the thing is, like, you guys don't see like the after hours part of it, of like Tom is at that gate till like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then he went back home judging it, like adding the tallies and doing and like sorting it got crazy.
Yeah, and I like that he's kind of using Saturday as they hangout day, so people can go on their drives and everything else, and then
Yeah.
use that time to say this is when we're going to judge, and kind of that way he doesn't have to like you said, spend all that time doing that. He can just
And
dedicate it to that time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're trying to get everybody in the show field on Saturday. So, like, all the Broncos are there. Everyone, if you have a drone, you want to throw the drone in the air. We want to get a good gist of, like, how many people are there. Everybody there on Saturday having fun, like, getting your last deals for vendors because they will probably sell out of stuff
Right.
just with how many people. But
Well, what I did last year was the first place I went was the vendors. I'm like,
Same.
if I'm going to get something, I want to schedule this and let's go do it.
I am
Tomorrow morning. I'll
really-
see you in the morning. Drop it off.
I'm really hoping I can get there, like, Tuesday by 3 so I can go see some of the vendors first before everything opens. And then Wednesday, like, get my Bronco somewhere just to get the accessories. So.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to do underbody protection before I went to Colorado a couple of years ago. So I got ARB because at the time I don't know if AIG had it yet or not, but I got ARB underbody protection I put on it. I don't like the look of it. It doesn't match up with the front bumper, and I've always not really liked the look of it. And so, not last year, but recently I wanted to add some underbody protection. So I got with AIG, and I said, does your front skid plates, because I hated to replace all of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, your front skid plate work with ARB, and they go, we just have to try it out. So I'm like, I didn't want to order it just to try it and then it not work. So I figured while I was there, let's see if it would work.
Yeah.
Tim, do you know my story about this?
No.
I did that exact thing last year.
Yeah.
With IAG, because I had an aftermarket bumper on my 22, and I was like, dead set. I love their underbody stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna order it. I'm just gonna order it. And thankfully, there's a voice of reason in my house, and he's like, wait till Supercell, go talk to them. So I rolled up, and I told them what I had, and they just immediately bring your Bronco over here. And before I probably got out of the driver's seat, Adam and the team over there were underneath my Bronco, took out my plastic little piece from my 22 Wild Track, put that new guy up there. It was all happening. Mark came down and paid for it because, spoiled. But unfortunately, some of the aftermarket parts that I had put on my 22, they didn't work. So I was super glad that I waited, and the guys at IAG were like, oh, we can figure it out and we can do this. I said, no, look, your job is not to make sure that your stuff works with everybody else's stuff. That's my job as an owner, but they took the time to figure that out, and they were super apologetic about it. And I was like, stop apologizing. No, you saved us a bunch of money. You now know if anybody else asks that it doesn't work with these parts that I had, and it's all good at the end of the day. So, but I got a fresh new Bronco this year with a stock bumper, so I might be showing up over there.
Yeah. All right. So I want to see.
This is gonna hurt.
I would like to see if it'll
She got her
work.
own money.
If not, I'll end up maybe just scratching it all because we'll see. But I have the lower control arm skid plates from them. I got the actually before Colorado this last time I was going to get the rear shock protection and the trailing arm, And so instead of the rear trailing arm, they sent me the front control arm. I'm like, well, I want that one too. So I'll just go ahead and do this now, and then we'll get the other one later. So I still need to get that one put in. And I don't have anything protecting the fuel tank, which I don't know if I need it or not. But going to Colorado, I probably feel like I need it. We go there enough that, yeah. So there's some big rocks there. But so, yeah, that's and the IAG is great for that because, like, well, Allie and I were there last year at the same time. I got the front lights put on. I have a soft top, so I got that new latch, which ended up a couple right before. Actually, it was Colorado. I was in Colorado Supercell when that latch broke on me.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I had to keep it tied down. Yeah, you were there. You had to keep it tied down. And the whole time, and then as soon as I got back, I let them know what's going on, and they sent me we've replaced it now with a metal instead of a plastic. Here you go, and they sent it free, and I was able to switch it out myself, and now it worked pretty good. So,
but that's the one thing I love about these aftermarket companies is like they back up their stuff. If anything goes wrong, you have companies like IAG, Mountains to Metal, things like that like. They truly want to make sure that you're happy. And, like, when you can go to these events and, like, set up that connection and actually, like, meet them, it's like, oh, yeah, I remember. Like, not saying you have to know them, but you truly just know how much they love this community. And they want to make sure that you're happy with everything.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have some, the attic tray for Mountains to Metal that I saw at Supercell in Tennessee last year, and I had it. We ended up working a deal out, and so I got it. I think a month later I installed it myself, and it was pretty real easy to install too and everything. So I
watched your video not too long ago about it, Tim, because we took mine out of my 22 and put it into the new Bronco because I was like, I need my attic shelf. I have to have it because the guys at Mountains to Metal installed it for me last year at Supercell.
Yeah, so we pulled up your video. And she's all like, because I was in charge of demodding the 22 and remodding the 24. So I'm like, and I didn't watch how Mountains to Metal installed it. And I'm like, find me a video. So she found me yours. And I'm like, zooming forward and backwards through the video. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to get here. I got to do this.
Their instructions are pretty good, but if you didn't have the instructions, because did they install it for you at one of the events?
Yep, right on the field.
That's the only thing. Sometimes I'm like, I'd like to install it just so for one, I could do a video, but for two, just so I know how it's done. So if I have to redo something, like I didn't install that rear latch. So when they sent me the other one, I'm like, I don't know how this goes together. I had to watch their video and then still struggled a little bit, but figured it out, because I didn't install it myself. So, but does yours squeak any? So I have a squeak in the back, and I think it's that tray.
No, the tray.
She gets a little rattle, but that's just metal on metal.
Yeah,
tags.
I did have noise for a while, and I figured out that I had like a random, like bungee cord that was up in there, and I did think it was squeaking for a while, but then I realized I also smashed my fire extinguisher up in there. Oh, and it was just a little too short, but I don't think I get any noise out of it.
I don't know if it could be that I might have a loose bolt. Does not tighten all the way, and maybe that's why it's squeaking. But I do have a little squeak, but I don't know. So
I'm so glad they had a camera relocator kit because the winch was in my way and I could never use my camera. And then Mountains to Metal. I think
so let's don't have front cameras, Laura.
It's time to get a new Bronco.
Well,
everybody's doing
it. Come check out my Bronco at Supercell. I just installed a new camera system for front and rear in my Bronco that will display at Supercell, and they're out there. A lot of aftermarkets have it, but we've got the new Wolf box in mine, and it's pretty sweet.
I've seen those. I think they've reached out, and I'm like, I don't know. So because I have a big Bend, so there's no way for me to have a front camera, and I still have the 8-inch screen, so the 21. But people have said that. Well, even around here, they're like, "Well, aren't you going to get a new one?" I'm like, "No, I've added too many things to this. This is my baby. I'm not trading it in."
I felt the same for about 5.5 minutes until I got my new one.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little sad I traded Bucky in, but
I can't trade mine. Mine's antimatter blue. I love it.
Oh yeah, you have to keep yours.
Yeah, you gotta keep yours.
You just have to get a new one.
I feel the same.
Oh, don't worry, she has another one and it's been parked and it only has 2 miles on it.
Right.
No,
I can't trade mine because I have a 2-door Wild Track with the 2.7. you can't like that. That's
don't exist.
They
It's
don't
a
exist.
unicorn.
It's a unicorn. So like I can't ever get rid of it. I can buy a new Bronco, but I can't ever get rid of that one. And I will say about the vendors, some of them, like IEG, have a do not install list. So because of the technicality or the amount of time it would take them to install, they'll have a list up there of like, hey, you can purchase this from us, but we're not installing on the show field.
Yep.
And just don't argue with them on that. Like, respect their decisions. They're doing a lot of work. Those IEG guys were sweating,
Oh yeah.
Oh my
working
God,
in the
it was
rain
insane.
last year. Like, those guys were turning
Oh, yeah.
and burning from the time the show field opened to the time it closed. Those guys are going out of their way to help install. And if they say, hey, this is a part we're not doing here, just respect that. Show them the same courtesy that they show us.
Yeah.
I feel like he's actually talking to us, Allie, so we don't whine about getting the onboard
I
air
know.
from IAG.
I feel like we made an eye connection.
No, because so last year I bought the IAG tailgate reinforcement, the X brace. It's still in the box on my shelf in the garage because I still haven't installed it. And now I've deleted my spare tire, so I really don't need it. But
Are you gonna sell it? You gonna bring it to the event?
maybe, but it was one of
Right.
those things last year. They weren't installing it because you have to remove your tailgate in order to install that. And they're like, we're just not doing that. So I brought it home, and then, but if I'm gonna try to upgrade to or create the 2-door Raptor and put 40s on it, I'll definitely need that brace. So
Right.
I'll have to hang on to that.
I will say mine's rough country, but I will say that was probably the hardest install to do because I did it. Most of my installs I do by myself, and I'm like, okay, I need a second person on this one. I'm like, and nobody wanted to help me. I'm like at home. I'm like, come on, I need help. I can't.
I can't do this myself. I know. I still have.
Tim, you
I
have to
kinda
come
took on
over
more
here.
than I could chew, but I still have a few things I have to install before Supercell. I may be doing them on the show field.
Yeah, see, it's funny, right? Because we're trying to get our vehicles all prepped to like go see our other buddies so we can show off our cars, but then we also want to add more stuff while we're there. Like, we're crazy.
Yeah, this is
what I
a
did
bad
last year.
addiction.
I did stuff and did a walk around, of here's what it's going to look like there. And then when I came back, it was different. So I had a couple things added. So, but I keep thinking I'm done. I can't add anything more. No more.
That's what they all say.
That's what I love about Supercell too, is like when you're not there, it's just like, okay, yeah, it's a Bronco. But when you're there, like everybody loves everybody and everybody loves everybody's cars. And I don't know, it's just kind of cool compared to in the real world. You're just like, yeah.
I have 3 tops for my 2-door now because I have the original OEM top, I have the best top Trek top, and I have the Armadillo 2-door hardtop on the way. So I now have 3 tops. If anybody wants an OEM 2-door top, let me know because that needs to go away soon.
Hey, we know a guy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm still with my cloth top. Actually, I purchased a second cloth top from
Are you
somebody.
going to get the retractable one?
No.
Sounds like more to break.
Probably not.
You know what I'm really hoping that somebody has there? The soft top retractable from Best Top.
Yeah.
I want to see it in person.
We saw it at SEMA and it was really smooth. It was very nice.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to see, like if it was smooth or if it was just kind of like.
No,
Like-
I mean when you hit that button, it is a smooth, seamless transition as it folds down.
Because I had somebody call me on, they wanted one. They wanted a soft top Bronco. I'm like, of course I had all hard tops. And he wanted a soft top white Bronco. So he'd get the retractable top. So
It's like $5,000 though.
Yeah, that's the thing. All the tops are $5,000. So I'm just like, yeah, we do. We're a cloth top. Like Barb and I we just love just flip. And then we just, we have our running boards. We have the IAG steps. So I can just put one foot there. And I bring it back and I'm inside and it's nice. Mm-hmm. We very rarely take the 3 side pieces off. We just pop it back, one step, and then we can just bring it up and latch it. And, we like the convenience of being able to see the whole thing. And we do have a Benamy top on there too, a mesh under there. just for the sun and everything.
I was
So
gonna
which
say
is
it
nice.
does help with sunburns. Just saying.
Well, the grandson.
Yeah, like bring on the sun.
I bought a $300 Benemy top because of the grandson. Because the first time we did that, he went with us and he was just like this, and I was like, so we're like, we need something. I says, they make something, I'll install it. So anyway, so that's why we have that, and we've had it ever since. I've never taken it off. So, and it works great. It does keep the sun off. So, and you still get the air that comes right through it, which is really awesome. So, but we're a claw top, and I've looked at hard tops. I'm not really ready to invest $5,000 in a hard top. I mean, not when there's a bunch of other great stuff for only a couple $100.
Exactly. Exactly. Couldn't agree more.
But anyway, but we still have grandsons. Yes, we do. I am not looking at the chat, so now I clicked over from my start, and I'm like, oh, I probably should be looking at the chat since I don't know if Sarah's in here yet anymore. But no, I'm. Yeah, the installs is fun, and the companies are great to work with. Between, like you said, IAG and Mountains to Metal, and then Diabolical too. They're pretty good too. But I'd like to see. I don't know if anybody makes one, but I want just a left side because we have a cooler, and when we have our camper, the lift gate only goes up open so much, and I'd love to have just a left side slide. Just one of it, just for the cooler. Put the cooler on and slide the cooler out just enough that I can get in
Like
the
a half
cooler.
slide, sort of.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great idea, Tim.
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons I haven't gotten a full slide is that, I know that there's not always having the tailgate all the way open, especially when we're traveling. Well, a lot of times we'll put drinks in that cooler instead of in the back of the trailer or in the camper. And so it's nice to be able to just open that up. A lot of times I'll open it up and I'll open the latch just enough that I can squeak in there and open it. And but it'd be really nice to be able to slide it out and then shut it. But anyway. I think there's some people that make it, but I don't know if anybody that'll be a Supercell, but we'll look around that. So it's not one of those things that I feel like I have to have, but it would be kind of nice and convenient to have.
I think I've seen a couple of them, but you've got to replace the floor in the back end because it mounts to a specific bracket because the holes don't line up. And that's what the thing is with the full slide is you mount it to those tie down shackle locations. So you've got to mount their specific flooring that has the drill holes in it, allows you to kind of modularize. Is that a word? I don't think so. But yeah, we'll go with it. It is now modularize your back end. So like I said, I think there's a couple, at least one, because I think it's made out of metal that I've seen. And then they have a bunch of modular boxes and stuff. But I think there's a half slide that's part of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I wonder if you have any of the washout floor that I could put in mine instead of the carpet. Take the carpet out.
I bought that. I met with those guys at Stampede 2 years ago. I don't know if they're going to be at Supercell.
I think there's a group actually raffling one off.
Okay.
Cool.
But I love that washout floor.
I know. It's so bad.
When I saw
I know that we couldn't post the raffle because we don't want to get it confused with the other raffle. Let me check on that. I think
we're also doing a raffle.
Yeah. ATN will have a raffle during that week with prizes on Saturday. So
unsanctioned secret raffle.
Secret raffles.
We're telling everyone about.
Don't tell Tom Saturday.
it's fine. It's fine. I don't know a thing.
So yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, we're already talking about packing like last night, so we were like, we're getting ready. So we can't.
I packed my clothes.
What? No. What? I'll pack Monday night.
I wear the same thing every day.
Bronco stuff.
Bronco stuff. But yeah, we enjoy it. I think Tennessee, like the Smoky Mountains, are just like where we camp at. It's like you come out of the camper and you just see the Smoky Mountains in the distance, and just then we sit there and you can see the road in front of the mountains, and you see Bronco drive by. It's like that's just fun to see.
That's awesome.
And some of the fun of that is just like as we live on the west side of Nashville, and so as we drive across, the state, as you get closer, the Bronco, like more and more. And as you're driving on the highway, you're like, oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. There's, and then everyone has to stop at Buc-ee's in Crossville. So all of a sudden there's a sea of Broncos, or we have our handles on our Broncos, so someone will stop and see it and then photo and tag and like, guess who I saw at Buc-ee's? And
That's awesome.
but it's a community. I mean, I had someone from California tag me last year or the year before, saw me at Buc-ee's. It was last year, RJ, Pew Pew Kachu. But he driven all the way from California. And then happened through Buc-ee's, and guess who I saw? And all of a sudden I was like, well, where are you, dude? Like,
we didn't see him in person in Buc-ee's, but we saw each other's vehicles.
Right.
Blue Truck, we haven't gotten to questions yet. We're swapping times right now, so we'll get into Q&A here in just a little bit.
Sorry, I'll stop talking.
But no, you're good. No, that I didn't have my Instagram on the Bronco. We put it on before Barbara and I went on vacation for spring break, and we went down to Fredericksburg, Texas, and I had a musician that started following me and said, saw you in Fredericksburg. I'm like, this is kind of creepy. And then he's got like, I don't know, 20,000 followers on Instagram. He's I guess a musician that plays there, but also in Austin, Texas, and he's been all over the world and everything. And I'm like, that's cool. So I'm like, marketing works.
Yeah.
I'm like, that'll work. But it does. It's kind of cool because we were on the trails the next day, and there was somebody I saw, and I'm like, take a picture of his vehicle because I want to follow him on Instagram. So it's like, yeah, we all do it. So it makes it.
Remember
it
when I met you in Wisconsin? I was like, I know you, Tim, but I know you don't know me. It's funny. You're like, hi.
All right. So I'm like, yeah, it's fun, but being able to see each other and everything. So, and then I guess ATN's going to do the sticker and patch swap, right? Saturday.
Yeah, we're doing ATN is going to hold a live stream on Saturday, and then right after that, we'll do the picker.
We're hosting the sticker and
patch swap will be there.
We need to combine the words,
right? Yeah. So stickers and patches will be swapped. It was a huge success for Allie last year. I think they did it down towards the Bronco Nation setup, and everyone really enjoyed that. And it was happening before the event. People like randomly show up, and like I said, I have a pretty unique wrap on mine, and I've got updated stickers and patches this year. But people were like, "That's the Bronco. Like, can I get your sticker and your patch and stuff?" Like, and then saw more people at the swap. So it's really a good time, and it just builds that community and that camaraderie between everybody.
And that's the thing, like, don't be afraid to like walk up to people. Like,
yeah, my Bronco is unlocked.
People.
Like, if you come up to the ATN booth and you want to climb around, because I have custom car seats and all sorts of stuff throughout the vehicle. It's the windows are down and it's unlocked. Like, get in it. Like, that's what it's there for. Go check it out. Like, and that's one of the great things is so many people are like, oh, don't look through the window, just open the door. Like, get in there and look at what you want to see.
Oh, I got in so much trouble. I did a video from SEMA. I showed all the different Broncos, and I like touched a couple, and so many people just told me I was just the worst person in the world for touching somebody else's vehicle. And I'm like, they're showing it off for a reason. I don't think so, but anyway, so now I've learned, don't touch anybody's vehicle unless you get permission.
Oh, I want you to come touch mine because it's super soft now that it's PPF and ceramic.
Well,
I actually,
we need to go buy yours. I want to show Barb because I kind of want to do the same thing. So we'll see.
Awesome.
But so anyway, but yeah, and then the live broadcast 11 it says, and the Bronco sticker and patch swap. So.
Are you doing the live stream there or no?
ATN is.
Yeah, ATN is.
ATN.
I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, so I actually, and then are they doing a member get together too, or something? A dinner or something?
Yes.
Thursday or Friday night.
Allie, do you remember?
I think last year I think
it's Friday.
I think it's Friday night at the company. Little local brewery. It's not anything formal. I don't think it's even on the schedule. But we just kind of put the word out. And they have great food there and great libations. So
great pesto fries.
Is that where it was last year? Yeah, their mocktails are pretty good.
They
Yeah.
were really good.
But
I mean,
they have a
mocktails early.
huge patio area in the back. So we all just kind of filter through, hang out. And
What is this
just
place called? Where is it?
it's called The Company.
Okay. Because I'll be
It-
having to go from Off-Roadeo to there then.
Yeah, it's just down the street. If you're coming out of the event, it's just down the street on the right hand. You make a right, and it's down the street on the left. It's kind of a small, nondescript building, big glass front, but it is a distillery. They have all the stuff in house, and then they've got a little food vendor on the side of it that has amazing pesto fries, as Allie pointed out. But like last year, probably 20, 30 people showed up. We just kind of hung around on the patio, come and go as you please, stop by and say hi.
Yes, and everybody, it's going to be Rob's birthday.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Ron's birthday party.
Bronco Rob.
Yep, that Rob. Right.
Yep.
Yes, Friday
Yep.
night. I confirmed with the boss.
There you go. But all right, yeah, it'll be a blast. So yeah, looking forward to it, and yeah, biggest event. So it'll go. And the thing of it is, it seems like it goes by so fast too. So once you're there, it's like, of course, we end up not showing up till Wednesday nights, but so it's
Wednesday,
like
I'm not gonna
Thursday,
go.
Friday, Saturday. It's like, oh, it goes so fast.
Laura likes to drive down for 6 hours.
No,
she sprints in, sees everybody, and then she runs home.
I was so tired last year. Like,
You didn't want to spend too much time with us.
Right?
Just enough.
no, but I always end up camping out, pulling out the tent in the parking lot next door, and I almost get in trouble every time because the cop comes by and they're probably like, "Oh, you're just a Bronco," and then they keep driving. I'm like, "Oh God."
All right. All right. Well, let's see. Anything else to talk about? But yeah,
Just to
a lot of
throw it
fun.
out there, anybody that's in the chat or watching, this event is not exclusive to Broncos. If you're interested in Broncos, you don't own a Bronco yet, you think they're cool, you want to come, meet us because we're weird. I'm weird.
Awkward.
Come by. You don't have to have a Bronco to come to Bronco Supercell. We'd love you to change your mind when you get there, or really make that decision to get one and join the community. But swing by. There's visitor parking, and a lot of the aftermarket folks that are there, the vendors, aren't just doing Bronco gear. So if you have a Jeep, you got a Toyota, you're driving anything else, you're driving a Ford Explorer, because I also drive that. There's stuff for you too.
Yeah, and there is visitor parking. So what I
Yep.
think the last couple of years we've had some people that
Yep.
members or viewers of the channel that knew I was going to be there, and they went there. In fact, I think Mike's in here, and he'll probably ride along with us and go through Kate's Cove. I mean, he did that.
Yeah, he said
actually
that
did
he loves Kate's Cove.
So
I think
yeah,
you had
so
a
they're
Maverick guy
looking-
come.
Huh?
You had a Maverick guy come to the patch swap too.
Oh, wait. Who's buying the Bronco Sport from you?
it is Ford Enthusiast.
Yes, he was talking about going.
Because he's picking his up like either the Monday or Tuesday before Supercell, so he might be picking it up and going
And
straight there.
driving right to Tennessee.
We actually toyed and kind of kicked around whether or not we would drive his Bronco and meet him there, his Bronco Sport. We talked about that, but that's an awful long drive for both of us individually, not have somebody talking to us, keeping us awake. So
Right.
we were like, I don't know.
I know I'm convoying with a few people, and I told them, I'm like, does everybody have walkies? Can we just do that instead? I'm like,
Yep.
Yeah, we do it all the time. We go to the grocery store separately sometimes in our Broncos and put our radios on. I'm kidding, not actually the grocery store. But
I don't care. I think that'd be amazing. Again, couple goals.
We've had the walkies in the past. In fact, Allie, I think you knew that, but we added a GMRS, and I love that thing. We used it
I
in
want one
Texas, and
so
it was so
bad.
nice having it right there, and I don't have to worry about a dead battery or anything like that. So it's nice. But then I can also give the 2 walkies I have to other people that
Yeah.
come, because we went in that group we had in Colorado that they didn't have walkies, so I was able to give them 2 walkies for each of them, and then everybody had one. But yeah, the GMRS is pretty cool too. So, and the way I put mine in, I can add another. I have another antenna, so I can actually take it out because I didn't hardwire it in, so I can move it from vehicle to vehicle
Oh, nice.
if I need to.
awesome.
So, which I'm looking at. You had mentioned earlier about the air compressor and the tailgate, which looks very. I really want to, but I'm like, but if I ever want to put this in another vehicle, I have the portable one. That's the reason I kind of like that.
Yeah,
But
and
I
the
don't know.
install video on that I've watched like 3 times, and I don't know if I'm just not mechanical enough or I'm just not gutsy enough to take my Bronco that much apart. That's why I have Mark.
So when I to get that floor in, and the name of the company totally escapes me right now. But you literally have to strip the Bronco down to nothing to pull that floor. So all the seats came out, all the side panels, the entire center console, all that comes out. What's that?
Armor light.
Armor light. Thank you.
Oh yeah, he did that last summer, and I walked downstairs out into the
Carport.
garage carport area, and I immediately went anxiety, and I went back upstairs. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to strip it down to nothing, and I've done that a couple times for different install. It's made to be broken. Like you said, Tim, you do all your installs yourself. I do mine. I did my own suspension work. Not heavy duty level suspension, but I had to tear. I have the Icon 2.5-inch spacer lift. I had to break my coil springs down and get that stuff installed. So,
you're way ahead of me. I know my limits. I don't do all my own installs. So the
only thing I haven't done was the rat. That's the only thing I didn't do.
So my bumper I didn't do. The hitch I did out of convenience. So because I was running out of time. So like their hitch and ours, I had them do the bumper. Out of convenience. Those were both done at the same time. It was out of convenience more than anything. But I did the winch and I did some of those things. I've done more electrical stuff than I thought I would do. Yeah. But I did almost mess up the Bronco before Colorado because I did install the AR or the IAG control arms, and one of the bolts wouldn't turn. So I was like forcing it.
Me about that.
Remember, my strut moved on me and I couldn't get it moved back.
Oh,
and so I actually had to drive it to the dealership with it just in there with one bolt. And as I drove it to the dealership, and I had the dealership fix it for me. So I'm like, now I'm like, okay, now I'm a little gun shy a little bit because I've done some things. I've, all the IAG interior lights and everything. I'm comfortable with the lighting and the electrical stuff like that. But some of the stuff, yeah, they put the rough country suspension on for me because I'm like, nah, that's all right. I know my limits.
The way I look at it, the Bronco is so partable that like if I screw this up, like it's going to cost me money. I'll just buy a new part and replace it. When I was doing taillights, the first time I changed out the taillights, that small piece of trim beside the tailgate, I missed a bolt. I was trying to pull, and I was all like, "Oh, it's just on there really tight," and I broke the actual painted piece away from the mounted trim piece. Oh, no. So I brought it into the dealer in pieces, and I'm all like, I need this new, which fun fact, they don't come painted. I had to then send it to the paint department and have that painted. But I just looked at it and I was like, well, I broke it. Like now get something new.
So we got a little tree damage on our A-pillar on our Bronco. And so we had the hail come through, and I'm like, yeah, maybe a tree dropped on that. No, I said, no, that's ours. And we did that. No hail damage on that. Can't cover that one. But that's one too, that it's a piece. So if I wanted to order that piece, I could. It'd have to be painted, and then I could put it on if I really wanted to replace it. At this point, it's just a badge of honor. We're like, nope, we want to let people know we off-road this thing. So we just leave it like it is. Some point, maybe.
When I got mine wrapped, we had gone out to Windrock Park with Dave and Kelly from All Train Nation, and I came around a corner and a stick jumped up and smashed the driver's door, put a nice little dent in it. If you're looking, you can see that dent underneath the wrap, and the wrap guy's like, "That's not going to hide that." And I'm like, "No, it doesn't have to be hidden. Like I dented that. Like I understand that."
You're like, it's a battle wound. It's supposed to be there for a memory.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, but. Yeah, all good stuff. I do have a couple things where I installed and I pulled it and I thought I had the right place where those push pins are, and I got a broken push pin here and there. But I'm like, I need to get with parts and say, just give me a couple of those. I just need to replace them because I got one panel that it kind of like, if you actually knew it was there, it doesn't rattle or anything, but it's like, it just kind of like I push it a little bit.
But the
Just,
thing is,
it
like,
shouldn't
you know
move
it's
like
there.
that.
You know what happens.
Right. I know. That's an install I did that I didn't know what I was doing, but yeah, anyway, it's fun. But we have in our doors, the netting. I need to get new of those. I think I could order those parts too, because we love the factory net, because it can move, because we'll put different size tumblers and all in there.
Wait,
I know that they make a bunch of different ones, but I just want a replaceable
what
net
ones?
part.
Do you need all of them replaced?
The front 2 doors. Yeah,
Do you care that they're orange?
probably.
I'm like, I think I still have mine.
Yeah.
Well, and I agree with you, Tim, on the net. Like, I installed some metal Molly panel ones from, I think, IAG, because I wanted them for so long, and we finally got them. It was last summer, and I immediately sort of regretted it. Like, they look cool and they worked for some things, but I missed being able to put all sorts of, different size bottles in there or whatever I could, squish in those little nets that work great. So they didn't go back on the 24. If anybody's interested, I'll bring them with me for sale.
Yeah, that's kind of where our thing is. We want it to be able to move and such. So different size. Barb has big tumblers and I have smaller ones. So it kind of works with everything on all sizes and everything. But do you guys have any of those Primo Works armrests?
I do.
Do you? Do you like it?
Loves it.
Love it.
Loves it.
Did you watch my video?
No, I haven't seen the video on that.
Okay, so does yours stay on or do you take it off?
I take it off because when you close the door, it goes flying across the.
Okay. All right. I had the same problem. Make sure it wasn't me.
Not
use your
you.
air.
I got it and I got it all situated and I love it. The trim piece on the Bronco is just so narrow it cuts into my arm. I bought one at Stampede, got it all set up, perfectly placed. Got out of my Bronco and closed the door and ping across the Bronco it went. And I was all like,
I'm pretty sure I was still in the passenger seat at that point and it like landed in my lap. I'm like, so that happened.
Yeah, that was my only negative to it. I don't use it on as daily because my drive's 10 minutes to work, but I used it when we went down to Texas. I'll use it when we go to there, but it was real nice because I do like to put my arm up there. And so I actually ordered one for both sides. Barb didn't really use hers, so I might have one to give away. But I do like it. But yeah, when I get there, I've learned now because it'll just fall off I move it, I put it on the dash. Yeah. And when I get in, since I'm looking right through there, I just put it right there.
I need that.
Yeah, same. And I was like, it's such a design flaw. If that little piece that clips over was half an inch longer, that would stay.
Does everybody know what we're talking about?
I know I do.
Huh?
I said I know I do.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Let me switch to this. Oh, no, it won't let me do that. Hold on a second. Got to remove this one. I did a Google search for it. It's just right here. Oh, I need to move this because I can't tell what I'm doing. All right, there you go. So, not donuts. These Primo Works armrests. So you can put those. They say Jeep, but you can put it in a Bronco too.
Yeah, and they have a few different sizes and colors, and I think
designs,
you can put patches on them and stuff. And the guys are really nice. We've talked to them from 2 years in a row now at the Stampede event, that's in August in Pitch and March. And Mark finally caved and bought one.
Like I said, I love it. I use it all the time when I'm driving it. I don't drive my Bronco to work anymore, but I had an hour drive each way to work. So came in super handy. I'll obviously have it for the 4.5 hour drive that we've got to Supercell. So not quite as far from Kansas. I know some of you guys are driving a lot further than we are from Michigan and whatnot.
Yeah. But yeah, that fits in the groove and it kind of lays against the door. But yeah, I did a video on it. If you guys want to see it, I kind of talked a little bit about it as well as where my position, my GMRS radio in the same video. But that's pretty cool. So I got that. Oh,
you're the star of the show now.
How do I get everybody back on here?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He kicked us out.
I got 2 of us.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Now you're on.
No,
Now you're on.
No.
This is why I don't have guests, right? I can't. Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
Yay!
Everybody's in a different place though, so
Right,
shuffling
we're
around
mixing it
now.
up.
Shuffleboard.
Anyway, so but yeah, it's but yeah, so we'll see what other products are down there. I've been interested in getting some different amber lights instead of my ditch lights, so I thought about getting those and having those straight out because I don't have any that are amber. That it'd be really nice to have those. Have you seen? I don't know if Turn Off Road is going to be there. Are they one of the
They
sponsors?
will, yeah. Eric Taylor with Trail Hunter USA is going to be representing Turn Off Road. So he'll be there. He has he has like all the products on his Bronco. And he's great to deal with. He's a friend from Kentucky, which I'm not up there anymore, but the Central Kentucky guys will always be my first Bronco family.
So on the back, they have a tail light that also has amber lights back there, so you can flip on. So I'd love to take a look at that because it's like a third brake light, and then but also you can flip, I guess, a switch or something, and you have two.
Oh,
amber
I think I
lights
have
that
seen
come out
that.
the back.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I looked at them online not too long ago because I'm also trying to find a like amber chase light that I want to put. I don't do night runs very often, but it's happened a couple times, and we're in dusty places sometimes up at the dunes, and in Michigan, wherever. And I did see those ones from Turn, and I'm also interested in seeing if Eric has them. I'll shoot him a message and see if he'll have them there. But all the other like amber pod lights I've looked at are like crazy expensive. And I know lighting's expensive,
Right.
but I couldn't there were so many different choices I couldn't decide. So I want to see one in person. So
Yeah, I mean, that's what's great about this is kind of seeing them in person instead of just online and ordering and hope for the best, that kind of thing. But so it'll be fun to see what else is there. But that's kind of, I don't, like I said, first I'm like, I don't need anything. And then I'm like, well, I'd like to see this. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. So, but
100%.
anyway, yeah, I was going to say, have you got, Allie, you have the IAG lights or I don't know if you do now, but you did.
I'm trying to get them installed
Anybody else have
before
those?
Friday.
the interior lights.
No, the
No, the
fog light.
exterior. Well, and the interior lights. I want to do those because I took them off my old Bronco. So I want to install those in the interior lights before Tuesday.
I'd pull them up. I'm afraid I wouldn't get everybody back on here again. No, the ones that go on the heavy duty modular bumper.
Yep.
I
Right
want
there.
fog lights.
The five lights. So
Yep.
I have so many people. If I drive at night, I'm always getting people thinking I have my bright lights on. It's
Mhm.
like they always flash me. I'm like, nope. You want to see my brights?
Like,
I can
I
show
can show you
you.
my brights.
I have one of those rough country. My winch has also the light, so I have one of those DRLs, but also the really bright light. And I'm like, sometimes I just flip that on because I'm like,
Tim,
you
I'll
want
have
to
to
see
look
some
at
lights.
your rig. I wonder if you have the same rough country bumper that I had on my 22, because it has a light bar integrated in it, and then side lights for ditch and fog.
So I have the Ford's OEM modular
okay.
bumper, but I have the rough country winch with their winch mount that has a little light, 20-inch light.
I see.
You
Okay.
can get it without the light or with the light. So I went ahead and got the light, and you can choose either a amber DRL or the white. And back then I didn't know the different, I was like, I don't know about amber and all that. So as I've been learning more, now I want amber lights. So I never used the ditch lights really. So I thought, well, what if I just got amber ones and have them pointing straight ahead on the A pillar? So I might be looking at that. So we'll see.
Mark and I both have ambers on our A pillars. I'm running Morimoto 4-bangers, the secondhand that I got from his, and Mark just installed the Nova Sight.
Well,
no,
I have Nova Sight on the Ranger.
Sorry,
I have Oracles, the Oracle Vegas. When those came out, I put Oracle on all my lights, tail lights, headlights. All mine are Oracle.
Yeah. I also would like to see.
Sorry,
I'd like to see what other people are doing with their traction boards, because I have traction boards, but mine I just keep inside the Bronco because I haven't seen anything that I like that attaches it to the tire. Well, I have a claw top, so
Oh,
that's not an
goodness.
option for me. So
I was
there
like,
are
what are those things?
some negatives to claw top, but
Is Brooklyn Broncos her board attached to the tire? I
don't
saw
know.
somebody in Colorado's attached to the tires.
Yes, I actually was at the event I went to where I got to see the strops, all the strop collection. Somebody had one there.
Oh,
And
Wayne's.
and yeah, and so whoever had that one, that company that made that one, I went to their website and their website wasn't there. It was like, well, or whatever. So I'm like, well, okay. So
I
anyways,
know there's one of the guys that rides with us in Kentucky. He had his in like a canvas bag that he would just strap to his spare when we hit the trails. It might have been like a military duffel bag. I don't know. As the bag got muddy, it looked like he was just hauling around a dead body with, like the boards in the top.
right.
But he busted them out real quick and used them. But I don't know if it's a
Well,
long-term solution.
I think last year Mountains to Metal had something
Yeah.
like that.
I was
It
going to say,
was
Mountains
red.
of Metal came out with a spare tire
Yeah,
rack
they had that.
carrier. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now,
Jody
what
had-
I noticed on theirs is that they also have a tailgate reinforcement that theirs is attached to. I have a rough country, so my question to them was, would it work on mine? And they weren't able to answer that last year. So
So now we can test it this year.
Yeah.
I'll say, and that's what I last year, because I have the Trek top, but I wanted the Molly 2-door window panels that they've got. And I went over to them and I was like, hey, my bolt locations for the Trek top are where you have to mount your Molly panel. Will it work? They grabbed their Molly panels and came over to the truck, and we found out together, like, oh, this works. Out of the 4 mounting locations, you can't mount one, but with 3, it's secure enough to mount whatever you want to it. They'll absolutely like engineer with you on the spot, to test things out. And that's one of the great things, like IAG did with the rough country bumper on hers last year. Those manufacturers really will work with you, because they also want to know if you have a question, someone else out there in the country has the same question.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, we've been chatting along about this, so we'll have to chat next week when we see each other in person. So, but I probably need to get back to the stream. People are asking for Q&A, so we better get into that. So, but anyway, thanks guys for joining me, and pretty quick because I just asked you all yesterday. So thanks, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
Everybody,
All right,
safe travels. We'll see you in a
And you
week.
can see Allie. You can see her handle there, and then Unbridled Bronco on Instagram.
That's me.
And at how do you exactly spell it?
It's AT Bronco.
Okay, on Instagram. And Laura, is that yours right
Laura
there?
Boston 85, yeah.
There you go. If you guys want to follow them, a lot of fun Bronco stuff on their Instagram and everywhere else. So thanks for joining me.
If you guys don't follow Bronco Driver,
Follow
their
Bronco Driver.
Instagram, because
Bronco Driver. And follow Allie's other channel, other Instagram, Bronco Driver.
yes, because we're like 1 follower away from 7,000. So if y'all can go help me hit
Wow.
that.
Nice.
I just finally hit 1,000. I thought I was doing good.
Nice.
I mean, I'm proud that these are not bought. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right? I
Right.
know.
Real
So,
people.
okay.
Awesome.
Well,
Well,
thanks
thanks,
guys,
Tim.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right, there we go. And we'll get into the rest of this. So I know a lot of you had some Q&A, and I do have a lot of recalls. We'll do that at the end, but I do want to open up for any questions you might have right now. I could go on and chat with them. You can see why we kind of like to get together every year in Tennessee. Some of those people, we only see in person once a year at the Tennessee. Some of them I get to see them in Colorado as well, but it's just all these communities, whether it be, if you're into Bronco sport, you're into Maverick, there's all this great community of Ford followers. And if it's anytime, it's like, if you're into like a Ford product, whether it be Bronco or, Bronco sport, then, it's, or whatever it might be, they're into it too. And so that you can always, connect with them. So, which is pretty cool. So, but yeah, so, there you go. So that's always fun. And Bronco, I mean, Tom has put this together years and years ago with the old Broncos, and it's always fun to get together. And once the 6 gens got added, these people just getting together and doing drives and everything, whether it be a local group or like that Supercell, we get to see each other every year. So we're all excited about that. So let's go into Q&A here. All right, so I'll try to manage this the best I can. If you dropped a question earlier, I can tell you I did not see it. So drop the question in now if you're still in here, and I will answer any questions you might have. Oh, I did see this earlier. Yes, Ken. So, hey, have you heard anything about 60th anniversary Bronco special edition? Now, I've heard they are doing a 60th anniversary Bronco, at least celebrating 60 years of Bronco. And I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they have told media that, hey, be looking for something in August, July, August, coming up later in the year. So there will be something. Bronco's birthday or Bronco Day or whatever is August 11th. So something will be happening on that day. I can tell you that. So it's, believe it or not, just around the corner. Not really that far around the corner. We still got several months, right? 4 months before we get to that. But yeah, so that'll be a blast. So hopefully there will be something going on. Now I assume there's going to be a special edition 60th anniversary. So we'll just have to see. I don't know if we'll see like a redesigned Bronco at that point, like an all new Bronco, because normally most models, it's 3 years we get a refresh on a model, and then 6 years we get a redesign, right? A next gen. So whether or not we're going to see a 7th gen Bronco for this in 2026 model year, and they reveal that then, or whether or not it's going to be a refresh to this current 6th gen, because none of the Broncos have gone along that format. We've seen some that it was only 2 years before they did a new gen or next gen and everything. So we don't know. We know it's not keeping to the 3 and 6 like the other models are. So we'll just have to see what's going on then. But there you go. So, all right. Bucky asks, would you recommend getting a battery upgrade to avoid having remote features disabled? So my Bronco has been did that during the winter a lot. And I'm about ready to upgrade my battery. I was thinking about it too. Now I will say this, I have a lot of things hooked up to my battery. So I'm probably drawing a lot from my battery, which is probably why I'm having issues. So the factory batteries are usually never the best batteries. So it's always not a bad recommendation to upgrade to a better battery. Depends on how old, like mine, I'm getting 3 years old now. So I'm thinking of maybe upgrading it. But the more, like lately, I've been driving my Broncos so much that I haven't had any issues with that. But during the winter, when I wasn't driving as much, and in the cold was getting to it as well, I did have a lot of issues with that, like you are stating there. But that probably the biggest thing. We're seeing a lot of Maverick people having issues with their batteries too that drive hybrids, because the more you drive a hybrid, you're not really able to. The car's not running, because basically how the batteries staying charged up is the vehicle running. The vehicle running charges the battery up to its full capacity. And if you have a shorter commute, right, cold weather, those all affect it. And those Maverick hybrids, if you're not using the EcoBoost motor as much, then you're not giving the battery enough. You're not able to charge that battery up. And so you're going to see more of that, not being able to be disabled for remote features and such. So that's something to think about. So, but the other way of doing that is getting a better battery, right? So, all right. Next question. My Ford connectivity trial version is getting ready to expire. What is its purpose? I have Amazon Alexa and Nav with Android. Is it for the Ford app updated? So your Ford connectivity is not going to discontinue your Ford Pass app. You'll still have that. And I don't know what vehicle you're on, but there is a Ford connectivity, like premium connectivity. Those usually last, like mine was, the navigation and premium connectivity was 1 year trial that I got. And then after 1 year, I lost my navigation and all that stuff. So the premium connectivity probably it's supposed to be like I don't know, some of your Alexa, I think, is one of them. I think you're streaming some other stuff. If you want to stream right in it, not have to stream through an app or whatever. Like if you have, some of those. But the navigation, you have to have the premium connectivity to get the navigation. So if you just try to sign up for the navigation after 1 year, for like my Bronco was that way, you also have to sign up for the premium connectivity package. So I have to pay $10 a month to have that, and then $80 a year to get the nav. So if you could use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you might just be better off doing that if the only reason you need it is for the nav. So anyway, something to think about. But if you can use a nav through the Ford Pass app, or not through the Ford Pass app, but through Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and it doesn't cost. You don't have to pay for that. You can continue to use that if you have that. So something to think about there. So Midcoast Maine said, is this the one? Yeah. Last January, my 12-volt was failing. Dealer replaced with new one with a 3-year warranty. Will last as long as I have the truck. So there you go. All right. Any other questions I might have missed? Pop any other questions you might have in there. And let me know. Do you guys want me to go through recalls? I do have a lot of recalls. I don't know why, but Ford dropped a bunch of recalls last week on one day, and I wasn't able to go through those. And then this week they dropped a bunch more on another day. And I think somebody actually had a question in here. I don't know if they're still in here. Yeah, Bucky's in here. So he had asked about the Strop Bronco update. We have 2 Strop Broncos that are built, and neither one of them have shipped out. So I was looking that up while we were chatting earlier. And when everybody was in there, when I had a chance to, and we have one that's at back at Michigan Assembly Plant, and it says it returned from all the mods. That means it returned from Penske, which is who does the stripes and everything and the graphics and that kind of stuff. So one is at Penske and one is returned from Penske and has not shipped out yet. And that was updated on the 8th, so a week ago. So they have not shipped out. But I have heard some of the Strop Broncos have been shipped out. So anyway, so we'll see. But so that's the case on that right there. So, all right. And then any other questions? All right. Doug was saying, I was reading in the Maverick Truck Club that 2025 owners need to be careful if they are trying to buy a third or cheaper 2024 $40 replacement key fob, and the 24s are not coming out with 25s. That is correct. Great. Yes. We did actually, I think, talk about that in a dealer news many episodes ago, that those key fobs do not work. The keypads don't work either. You can't use a keypad, the DIO keypad. You cannot use a keypad from a 24 on a 25 model year either. So they are different. So that is correct there. So, and yours is on a Ranger. So similar to Bronco, Ranger made the same place, probably the same situation there on that. So you probably have that same connectivity package, which you get it 1 year, and I think it includes the navigation. So I think you have to sign up for that. Now, 25 model year, they did switch that to where they took away the navigation. So luckily your Lariat has it, but you have to pay, right? Extra for it. So anyway, so any other questions on that stuff? I can go through recalls and keep my eyes on the chat if you still have any other questions. Probably some people jumped off because we're talking Broncos so much, but if you guys know me, you know I like my Bronco and like talking Bronco stuff. I like Maverick too, but yeah, I just it's fun to talk about Bronco and the modifications you can do with your Broncos, which is really cool. But all right. All right, well, let's jump into recalls. I do want to cover these so that way I have them in there. People will know exactly what's going on with that. So we'll end this with recalls, and then I'll keep my eyes on the comments for any questions. So feel free if you have any questions to pop those in there. And I don't know, like I said, some of these recalls came in last week and some came in this week, and I feel like some might be repeats, but let's go through these. This first one here is a safety recall, 25S15. And this is actually kind of an updated recall that was part of another recall. So 24S17 which was issued back in August 24th of 22. So it does say this in here does affect 10,531 vehicles. And this in here is a certain 21 to 22 model year F-150s, 22 model year Expedition, Navigator, Maverick, and Super Duty vehicles may not have the remedy for safety recall 22S17 installed correctly, but were recorded as having received the repair successfully. Because the correct software update may not have been installed on these vehicles, the underlying condition specified in safety recall 22S17 may still exist. In all of the affected vehicles, the trailer brake controller may not properly apply the trailer brakes when towing a trailer equipped with an electric or electric over hydraulic brake system. This may result in no trailer brake function while driving, loss of trailer brakes, and extended stopping distances, increasing the risk of a crash. So letters of record will go out this week, actually. The week of the 14th. So on that one there, actually, I'm going to break out. It's getting late. I need to break out my glasses. Wherever I did with those. Hold on a second. When I have small print and it gets late, or my eyes get tired, I got to pull out the glasses. So you probably saw that if you watched the scheduling one. I had to do that because the print's really small. All right, this next one is a compliance recall 25C06 for 22 to 23 model year Maverick. And this in here affects 899 vehicles. And according to Ford's records, certain 22 to 23 model year Maverick vehicles may not have the remedy for compliance recall 24C01 installed correctly, but were recorded as having received the repair successfully. Because the correct software update may not have been installed on these vehicles, the underlying condition specified in compliance recall 24C01 may still exist. The affected vehicles do not conform to the requirements specified by the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard, number 101 for controls and displays, as well as number 102, transmission shift lever sequence, starter interlock, and transmission braking effect, and number 105, hydraulic and electric brake system, number 208, occupant crash protection, and 108, which is lamps, reflective devices, and associated equipment, which require illumination of certain gauges and telltales in the cluster display. So anyway, so this in here, you can see this is another one. Owners of letter went out last week, and this is another one where basically the recall wasn't done correctly on that. So we're kind of seeing a lot of these are corrections from recalls. This in here is safety recall 25S29 for 25 model year F-150 hybrids. Only 47 vehicles are affected by this, and affected vehicles have a fuse located in the high voltage battery junction box with an incorrect amperage rating for application. The fuse may blow, which can result in a sudden loss of motive power if the vehicle is operating in electric only mode. A loss of motive power increases the risk of a crash. So letters are going to go out to them this week as well. So, all right. This next one is safety recall 25S16 for 21 to 22 model year Corsair plug-in hybrids, 2020 to 2022 Escape plug-in hybrids, and 22 to 24 Maverick hybrids equipped with a 2.5 liter engine. Only 205 vehicles are affected by this one. And according to Ford's records, certain 21 to 22 model year Corsair, well, the years that we told you about, may not perform to the remedy for safety recall 24S33 installed correctly, but were recorded as having received a repair successfully. So I won't go through all that because, again, this is another situation where the recall wasn't done correctly. So letters for these people that had it done incorrectly will go out this week as well for that. So you're seeing kind of a theme here. All these came out on April 2nd with a lot of the same issues here, where the original recall that was on did not get done right. This in here is safety recall 25S13 for 22 model year Maverick for BCM and PCM calibration update. 2 vehicles are affected by this. Only 2 of you out there in the whole country. Certain 22 model year Maverick vehicles may not have the remedy for safety recall 24S50 installed correctly. Again, so they're going to need to be done, and letters of owners are going to go out this week for them. Compliance recall 25C07 for 22 model year Mavericks. This is an ABS software update. 141 vehicles are affected by this. And again, another situation where the remedy was not done on recall 22C24 correctly. And for that reason, they'll need to have theirs go into the dealer, and they're going to receive letters this week as well. Next one, same date on April 2nd, that came out. This is on 20. This is a 20 safety recall 25S17. We just talked about that a second ago with the 23 model year Super Duty with the Pro Trailer Hitch Assist. So that one was about the trailer brake controller, and this one here has to do with the hitch assist as well. 355 vehicles were affected by this one. And again, safety recall 23S46 was installed incorrectly for those Super Duties. And for that reason, a recall needs to be done. Those letters are going to go out last week. They should have got those letters already. So, all right. So here's a bunch that came out on April 11th, looks like. And we might have similar situations. Let's go through this one here, which is safety recall 25S40. This is a do not drive vehicle. It's very clearly in bold. Certain 2025 model year Bronco vehicles. Only 2 vehicles are affected by this, but it says do not. In fact, it says to tow them in. It says in some of the affected vehicles, the nut on the ball joint, which secures the front upper control arm to the knuckle assembly, may not have been installed or torqued to specification. This can result in separation of the front upper control arm from the knuckle assembly. The separation of that, we know that's just bad. That's all we need to hear. We don't need to read the rest of it. So anyway, so that's going to go out. It says tow the vehicles in, and they actually will get a phone call because there's only a couple of them, and that's going to happen next week for those 2 owners. All right. This next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 25P01. And this one is 2,161 vehicles are affected by this. 25 model year F-150 hybrid on this one here. And it does say on all affected vehicles, when attempting to select Sirius XM on the audio source, the vehicle's center display may persistently show Sirius XM loading, with Sirius XM audio remaining unavailable during the drive cycle. All other audio sources remain unaffected and operate properly. So this in here does say that owners will not be mailed on this program. So, but that is a customer satisfaction program, means that it's there and available. So this one will be in effect through April 11th of 2026 for vehicles within the new bumper-to-bumper warranty coverage period. So basically, if you're having issues with it, you go taken care of. Otherwise, you don't have to worry about it. So, all right, this next one, make sure I have any questions here. I can highlight those. So I'll come back to those in a second. Anyway. All right. So this one here is Safety Recall 25S20 Supplement Number 1, which means it's an update. So the original recall came out March 17th of 25, and this is an update to that for certain 25 model year Super Duty vehicles. This is 23 vehicles are affected by this. That's one of the updates, was they updated the population to 23. And they also updated the technical instructions, labor allowances, and everything for this one. So, all the affected vehicles due to the process deviations at the supplier, the steering column assembly was built with misaligned welds attaching the shifter mechanism to the steering column. If the shifter mechanism detaches while the vehicle is not in park, the driver will be unable to engage park. The vehicle may roll if the parking brake is not manually applied, increasing the risk of a crash. So, and then let's see. They said letters are going to go out to the extra people owners in the week of April 28th. So on that one. All right, this in here is Safety Recall 25S35. This is an advance notice, so this is not an official notice yet. 24,520 vehicles are affected by this. They're 2025 model year Explorers with a 2.3 liter engine, which is probably why we saw a lower number of 2.3 liters that are being produced. And we know there was an issue there. Well, now they said they've increased that again. And that's probably because they have the fix. They know what's wrong now. In all affected vehicles, the PCM, the powertrain control module, may experience an internal reset while driving. The PCM reset could result in a malfunction indicator light displayed in the instrument panel cluster, a temporary loss of vehicle acceleration, or a loss of motive power. A PCM reset may also engage the transmission's parking pawl temporarily while the vehicle is in motion. A transmission parking pawl engagement while driving at speeds greater than 10 miles per hour may result in damage to the vehicle's park system. So there you go. And owners of letter said will be notified via first class mail within 60 days. It may occur before parts ordering and software is available. Again, this is an advance notice right there. All right, another advanced notice is this one here, safety recall 25S36 for 24 to 25 model year E-Transit chassis cabs with extended range battery. Only 452 vehicles are affected by this one here, and some of the affected vehicles prior to final upfit installation and when parked outside, the vehicles may be exposed to the elements and water may accumulate in the high voltage battery side rail channels. Water that accumulates in the channels may be exposed to repeated cycles of freezing and thawing within the exposed aluminum side rail extrusions of the high voltage battery assembly. This can cause the side rails to buckle and crack. If the side rails buckle and crack, water can ingress to the battery pack. If there is a significant amount of water inside a high voltage battery for a prolonged period of time, this can result in electrical short circuits and may lead to a fire. Until a complete dealer bulletin with repair instructions and parts ordering information is available, affected vehicles should be parked outside or at least 50 feet away from structures and other vehicles. And then this in here, letters will go out once they have repair orders and everything like that. So, all right. This next one is another advanced notice. It means the recall is not fully ready yet. This is recall 25S37. So this is for older vehicles, 2017 to 2018 model year F-150s and 2017 to 18 model year Expedition and Navigators with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine. 123,314 vehicles are affected by this. And some of the affected vehicles, a seal and the rear of the brake master cylinder may become compromised, allowing brake fluid to leak into the brake booster. If the brake fluid reservoir is depleted below a predetermined level, the driver may be alerted that brake system service is required by a combination of the following: an audible chime, a full screen message center alert, and illumination of the red brake warning indicator. So it says if the brake fluid reservoir continues to be depleted, the driver may experience a change in brake pedal travel and feel and reduced brake function in the front wheels without affecting brake function in the rear wheels. Reduced brake function in the front wheels can extend stopping distance, increasing the risk of a crash. So this in here also, letters will go out once they have repair orders and parts available. So, all right. This in here is safety recall 25S23 for 22 to 23 model year Transit. It does say BEV and ICE vehicles, both. And this is this has to do with the 22 recall 22S65 supplement number 1 as well. 468 vehicles are affected by this one. And this is one of those situations where a recall was done incorrectly. So certain 22 to 23 model year Transit vehicles may not have been remedied for safety recall 22S65 installed correctly, but were recorded as having it received correctly. So in that one there, owners of record will be sent out the week of April 28th. So incorrect recalls done. That's so most of this has to do with just incorrect recalls done by the techs there at the dealers. So safety recall 25S32 is for 2019 to 2020 Transit Connects with the 2.5 liter. 150 vehicles affected by this one. And certain, again, this is another one where the safety recall 20S60 was installed incorrectly. Well, it says installed correctly, but were recorded as having received repair successful. So it may not have been done correctly. So again, another one where the recall may not have been done, and the letters are going to go out next week for this one. And then this in here is safety recall 25S22, 2020 to 22 model year Explorers, 4,148. And again, another situation where safety recall 22S27 or 23S16 was not done correctly as well, because a correct software update may not have been installed on these vehicles. This recall had to be initiated for them, and these letters are going to go out next week to those owners as well. All right, another one. I told you there's a lot. Safety recall 25S21 for 21 to 23 model year Broncos Sports and 2020 to 22 model year Escapes with the 1.5 liter engine. 32,906 vehicles on this one. And another situation where safety recall 24S16 or 22S673 was also done incorrectly. And for that reason, they need to be brought in again. And so this is the letters to those owners will go out next week as well. All right. Another one of those. Safety recall 25S24. 566 vehicles are affected by this. It's 21 model year F-150s built without the auto start stop. So there was during COVID, we had some of these that the vehicles did not have the auto start stop ordered on them. I know a lot of you are like, yeah, I'll be in that boat. This in here affects those vehicles, 566 vehicles. So in certain 21 model year F-150s may not have the remedy for safety recall 22S15 installed correctly. For that reason, that's why this recall needs to happen. Letters we're going to go out next week for those owners as well. Another one of these. All right. Safety recall 25S27 for 2020 to 2023 model year Explorer, Aviator, or Corsairs. And this has to do with performing the 360-degree camera alignment. And 49,619 vehicles are affected by this. And this in here had to do with safety recall 23S23, which was done incorrectly. And they may need to go in and have it done, and they'll receive letters next week on theirs. Last one. This in here is safety recall 25S28, 21 to 22 model year Edge vehicles with Sync 4. 2,318 vehicles are affected by this one. And this one had to do with incorrectly being recall done on safety recall 22S14. And for that reason, these customers will need to come in and have the recall done. And these letters on this will go out next week. Whew. So there you go. So a lot of those recalls we went over, a lot of them were done on April 2nd and April 11th. And it had to do with past recalls that wasn't done correctly, but was told it was done. And for that reason, they want to make sure those vehicles come in. So whether or not some of them might have been done correctly, but they know those people were on that recall list and they know enough of them weren't done correctly that they just want to make sure everybody's okay there. So again, that's just Ford just being cautious and making sure they're done correctly. And for that reason, you'll go in. Some of them will have to have the recall done. Probably some of them just have to have it checked. And almost in every situation, it's a software update is what it is. So it shouldn't be a major deal. But yes, like Bucky, I said, nothing worse than a recall. So there you go. All right. And I think I have, there you go. What is historic normal weight for a F450 ordered early March? Well, here's the situation on that is it depends on where you ordered with, what dealer you ordered with, and how many allocations they have, how many orders they have, and that kind of stuff. So really, it just depends. I mean, there are some people that Like we had somebody that ordered, and within a week got scheduled for production date. 2 months later, got scheduled and took delivery theirs 3 months after they ordered. And that's not typical. Some of them usually, most of the people, they can get scheduled usually within a month for 2 months out from that. And usually the turnaround is like 3 to 4 months. But if you had a dealership that doesn't get a lot of allocations and have more orders, like I talked about in my scheduling video earlier tonight, we have 40 allocations on our dealership for Super Duty. We have 20 unscheduled retail orders. We should get all 20 of those people scheduled for production dates in this month for those June production dates. But if you're at a dealer that's in the reverse of that, maybe they have, 40 orders and 20 allocations. Well, then it's going to take 2 months for all those to get scheduled. So, really having that conversation with your dealer is very important, because that is, I like to say that I've actually been saying this a lot lately. That's the kicker. That's what hurts sometimes, is you don't know that situation. So, anyway, let's see what else here. To add to the above question, you have a King Ranch, no ads. So last week, King Ranch was a constraint. So it's probably why you didn't get scheduled. But hopefully this week will be a key week for you. You ordered in March. And again, depending on when orders come in. Now, Super Duty, they usually will schedule every week and not schedule all theirs at the beginning of the month like some models do. But this is a new week for new allocations for dealers. So this is a big week for you. And so I'm really hoping that you get scheduled this week. Thursdays is when they do the scheduling. So hopefully you get scheduled and you can come back next week and tell us you did get scheduled, which would be really awesome to hear. And hopefully that's what's going to happen. So, all right. What else here? Is this a question? Let me read this. Thanks to your inspiring videos, I'm picking up my 25 Maverick FX4 with 4K tow package tomorrow. Looking at the window sticker, it was just built on 3/3/25, and it does have the Ford Copilot 360 1.0 for $795. So yeah, they just changed that wording on that. 330. We noticed some that were built 324 or 224 that had that same phrasing on it, where they changed that from just Copilot 360 to 1.0 on that. So congratulations. All right. Any other questions? All right. Any other questions, drop them down. Otherwise, I think we're about done for tonight's live stream, 9:30. Hopefully everybody enjoyed talking Bronco stuff and Bronco Supercell. If you're in that Tennessee area next week, go check it out. I think, you can actually, if you don't want to, there's parking. If you don't have a Bronco, it's $100 to get into to drive your Bronco onto the show field. If you're somebody that's like, you know what, I don't really care about that, I do have a Bronco, you can just pay $10 to do the visitor parking and get in and go in and see everything. So you can go and do that. If you don't want to do that, park across the street, walk across. It is kind of a busy street, but it's not too hard to walk across. But you can always park somewhere else and walk across the street and get in there. So actually walking around does not cost you anything. Just the parking is like $10. So if you want to do that, see a lot of cool Broncos. Like I said, there's going to be over 1,000 Broncos there. And if you're in the area, there's going to be, like I said, Saturday is the day that they're kind of making the show day. So that's a day you can go check out vendors. You can go, there's food trucks there. You can check out a lot of Broncos, the Battle of the Broncos. There's going to be in a certain section as well. That's a great day. If you're wanting to just go and see the Broncos, Saturday is the day. Go over, then Friday will be busy. But there are people that do go on drives. So not everybody will have the Broncos there, every day throughout the day. Like for us, we'll usually come over to the event. We'll kind of hang out, maybe check out some vendors, talk to people, say good morning and everything. And then we might go on a drive for a couple of hours. And then we'll end our day in the show field and seeing people. And again, seeing vendors and going and doing that kind of stuff. So that's usually how we spend our Thursday, Friday. But Saturday, we'll be at the show the whole time, checking out Broncos, talking to people and that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll do that. And we do... says, is there a channel for watching the Bronco event? There is not. Like nobody does a Bronco event thing. I plan to do some videos. We'll try to post them on my I do have my Ford video guide channel that I'll try to post some videos that day. I'll Train Nation will probably post them. Check out social media. Look for Bronco Driver Magazine. They'll post pictures and different things like that. But there's no YouTube channel. Probably will just be showing, constantly the show. Just be looking for like Bronco Driver. It's Bronco Driver's event. So look for their Instagram and then just, look up, especially like on whether it be Instagram or whether it be on Threads, look for that hashtag, Bronco Super Celebration or Bronco Super Cell. Sometimes people put in and that kind of stuff to find different posts and stuff by people. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll do a video. And next Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll have a Built Wild Wednesday video. Tomorrow, we'll be doing a special walk around on something. It's not a Bronco, but it's something you can pull behind your Bronco. And we're really excited to partner with a local company that makes something here that you may want. If you want to do some overlanding, you may be interested in. So I'm looking forward to doing that for tomorrow's Built Wild Wednesday. But next week I'll be doing a video, and we'll be covering a lot of things that we did see at Bronco Super Celebration. So we won't talk Bronco Super Cell next Tuesday on here, but definitely on the Wednesday video, we'll be doing something on my personal channel. I'll try to get something out earlier than that as well. And I might even just do some live videos just because I like recording videos, editing, especially when I'm there. I may not do. So I might just do some quick videos that I can just pop up on my social. Or on my Ford Video Guide channel. I'll probably try to do more shorts, and I'm going to do a lot more from Bronco Super Cell this year. So definitely make sure you're following that Ford Video Guide. And actually, let me just put that in here. I think I can do that. Yeah, I'll just put that in here. So if you guys can see that are on watching the YouTube video. So at Ford Video Guy on Instagram and on Threads, I post most things that there and push it to Threads. My Facebook, you can find Tim Bartz on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. I usually don't add friends on there. Leave that for family and close friends that I meet in real life. Yeah, you can check that out, but I'll be posting a lot of that stuff to there. And then my YouTube channel, Ford Video Guy YouTube channel, will post some videos on there. So if you want to see some stuff, I'll try to do and get you guys some content for that as well. So anyway, so there you go. We forgot to tell you guys what was in Tim's cup. It is root beer. That's my go-to at a restaurant is root beer. So, because I'm not a big, I don't like diet drinks, and I'm trying to go no sugar, but I've been doing some sugar here and there. But it is, I forgot to mention that earlier. It is root beer. So that's kind of my go-to when I go to restaurants, but not always. Sometimes if I'm not a fan, I don't like Coca-Cola brand, but I'll drink a Pepsi. But typically I'll do root beer. So anyway, all right. Any other questions? We're going to hop out and enjoy the rest of the evening, and hope you guys did enjoy this. And again, it's a blast. Fine. And kind of the whole thing on this is, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun at Bronco Super Cell. You can't always make it to those events, but find local events, cars and coffees, that kind of stuff. Get to meeting some people and make some friends in your local communities, because it is a lot of fun. I've gone to some other events, Broncos of Texas, and made some friends down there that I follow now on Instagram. And I feel like I'm just connected because I got to meet them in real life. And now we connect on Instagram and such. I've gone to some events, all these events. I've met people and started following them. And, which is another reason why I like to do the sticker and patch swap with people, is that if we do those in person, like at Supercell, then I can see what are they on Instagram. And so then I can start following them. And so sometimes we do I know the sticker and patch swap gets pretty busy and hectic, and if you're somebody that's at one of those events and you don't have patches, you can have my patches. I don't care. I'll still give it to you, and I want to connect with you. And so, come on over to that at the All Train Nations booth and have fun. That's Saturday at noon, I think they said, or noon or 1. So anyway, all right. I think that's all I have. I'm rambling. Tend to do that when I'm by myself, but if you guys don't have any other questions, thank you guys for joining me tonight as we talk Bronco and Bronco Super Cell. And you guys know where I'll be next week. So next Tuesday night, we will not, I forgot to mention that, we will not have a live stream. We will have a pre-recorded one, but it will be to where it's going to be, I can't remember what they call it, but it'll be to where you guys can still chat. So the video will go live at 6 p.m. Right here. And it will go as a recorded video, but it'll be to where you guys can chat while you're watching the video. So we'll give you some of the content, some of the dealer news, some of the recalls. I'll probably just have a topic that I want to talk about and just make it. It'll probably not be very long, maybe an hour or so. But we will try to do that for you guys next week. So you guys, a lot of you guys like to connect to your Tuesday nights. That way you can still do that. So it'll be a premiere video. That's what we call it. So that'll allow you to still be able to communicate with each other and say hi and everything. So we'll have that go live next week at 7 p.m. So there'll still be content, but it will not be live. I will not be in there. I'll be driving through hopefully Missouri by then, at least probably to Kansas City. So I will not be in there, but Sarah said she would be in there and chatting with you guys next week. So just to kind of heads up on that, but there you go. That's that. And next week, we'll talk more about that for members, but and the member content. But thank you guys for joining me. Make sure to subscribe with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of the videos. And thanks for joining me tonight and letting me talk Bronco stuff. I like talking Bronco stuff. So thanks for allowing me to do that. I know it's not always normal to do that, to talk about all the different products. But anyway, thanks very much for joining me. And hope you guys have a great night and see you guys in the next video. Stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.